Hello and welcome to Numberwang, the maths quiz that simply everyone is talking about. Well, if you're ready, let's play Numberwang.
Answer the daily double wang.
That's number one, but we don't want to give you that.
That's Numberwang.
That's Numberwang.
Ja, das ist Numberwang.
That is statistically Numberwang.
That's Numberwang.
That is statistically Numberwang. That is statistically Numberwang.
That's Numberwang.
Answer the daily double wang.
That's Numberwang.
That's Numberwang.
That's Numberwang. That's Numberwang.
That's Numberwang. That's Numberwang. That's Numberwang. Let's go to the maths board.
Turn to page Numberwang. That's Numberwang.
Answer the daily double wang. Answer the daily double wang.
That's the Numberwang bonus. Triple Numberwang to you. Everything hinges on this final round. Yes, it's time for Wanganum. Let's rotate the board. That's Wanganum! Bad luck, most of you have been Wanganummed, but the one person who hasn't, you are today's Numberwang. That's all from Numberwang, but until tomorrow's edition, stay Numberwang and remember out there, good Numberwang! Good evening, and welcome to a very special edition of Game Night on tonight, Sunday, the 19th of June. It is a collab stream with my very great friend and colleague, Hud601. Here he is. Huds, welcome to the stream.
Hello everyone. Thank you for having me, Ben.
Pleasure. Always good to do these collabs, especially with one so cromulent as yourself. Pleasure to have you here.
In a while.
Just want to check with the chat that everything is working, that you're hearing the game, that you're hearing me, that you're hearing Huds, that you're seeing Huds. If there's anything that doesn't look particularly like it should be, please do let us know. We'd rather get the issues sorted before we crack on with the game. Also, to anyone who was here last night and largely this week since I've had my new graphics card, I've been having a few issues with the computer. I've updated the graphic drivers today and I've restarted the computer, so I'm hoping that we'll avoid all those. But if we do please bear with us, and things will hopefully resolve themselves without too much drama. So just to give you a bit of an idea of what we've got in store for you this evening, we are going to be playing a very special cash game of the Hive to start off. This pack has been written by me. There are some video game questions and some Sonic questions, but there is a lot of general knowledge in here as well. Most of the video game ones we're saving for the next game. Oh, and a message from our sponsor, it's Ollie.
Welcome to the incredibly cromulent Huds. Happy Pride.
Did you get that? Did that come through for you, Huds?
I couldn't hear it in my end, no, but I could read it.
So yes, welcome to the incredibly cromulent Huds and Happy Pride. And a message from our sponsor, the Lupine One, who says, Cash Game, yes indeed, it's Otley, thank you very much for the 19 months. Lupine, 23 months just shy of a year, thank you so much for the support, very, very grateful to you. There's lots of new people coming to the chat and saying hello. I will say hello to you properly in just a moment. Just to give you a quick overview of what is happening this evening. We are starting with a cash game of, I almost said the Huds then, cash game of the Hive. Huds, who's invited me to come and collab with him, is raising money all this month for Bristol Pride. It's Huds' hometown, and I know it's a charity. It's got a very special place in his heart. I'll get you to say a few words about that in just a moment, Huds, if that's okay.
Of course.
How this is going to work, it's going to be a regular game of the Hive with questions written by me, but all the money Huds wins is going to have a cash equivalent. So it starts off with 20 points. That's going to be effectively £2. So there's a potential jackpot in this game of 1,000 points, which translates to £100. That is potentially what is up for grabs if Huds can make the right decisions over the course of the next hour or so. So that's how that's going to pan out. This is more of a fairly standard game of the Hive. So sort of my side of the audience, or over here, the Game Night community, this is much more sort of standard Hive trivia with a couple of video games and Sonic questions thrown in for good measure. When we play The Abyss later on, and a message from our sponsor, Panda. Oh, no message, but Huds, you've been gifted a subscription from Panda right there. Panda, thank you so much for your generosity. And Huds, welcome
thank
to
you
the
very
fun.
much.
Enjoy
Thank
the
you very
emotes.
much.
So yeah, The Abyss later on. Very grateful to Huds and to Panda who have collaborated on the Abyss questions. They've written a set of largely video games and Sonic-based trivia for everyone to get their teeth sunk into. For both games, we have got prizes as well for the top 3 players in the Hive Mind, our top drones, if you will, and our top 3 players in the Abyss, top 3 scorers, and there might be an extra special prize for the one who actually wins the Abyss if anybody does. So all of that will be explained a bit later on. So very, very grateful to Huds and Panda who've contributed trivia for that. After that, we are going to be raiding over to Huds' channel, and Huds is going to tell us a few words about what's going to be happening then.
Yes, so afterwards we're going to be going over to my channel. If you were here this time last year, you remember that myself and Ben here had a lovely little race between Sonic 1 and Sonic 2, in which me, as the seasoned speedrunner, had my behind absolutely handed to me by Ben, as he beat me in both the Sonic 1
amateur
and Sonic 2.
speedrunner.
This year we're going to be repeating that. It's going to be a rematch. We're going to be doing Sonic 1 and Sonic 2, but this year we're throwing in Sonic 3 and Knuckles as well.
Because
we're
Huds wanted to win something.
We're going to be racing all 3 individually, 1 point for each one, to see who ultimately gets to take home the crown this year.
So, a big night ahead, a couple of hours over here, and then probably a couple of hours, maybe a little more over on Huds' as well. Anticipate late streams, and of course, all this month, all this stream is in aid of is because Huds is raising money for Bristol Pride. Huds, I don't know if you've got a Tiltify link handy.
Oh, I do. I will pop it in the chat for you right now.
That would be amazing. And Huds, while he's doing that, he's also going to tell us a bit about Bristol Pride, the work that they do, and perhaps why you're raising money for them, and all the rest of it. Oh, you got time there? Oh, for goodness sake. That's really very funny. If you stick it in the live chat, I'll follow it through.
Fine. There you go. So for anyone out there wondering, the link, it's pride.hud601.co.uk. That'll take you straight to the Tiltify page, should you wish to donate to Bristol Pride. But yeah, let me talk to you very quickly, very briefly about Bristol Pride. They are my local Pride charity here in the southwest of England, in the UK. They do some really, really important work, not only running the annual Bristol Pride Parade, which is one of the largest Pride parades in the UK. They also run a Pride Festival every year that happens over the weekend, where they get such amazing artists and get the whole Pride community out to kind of celebrate the LGBTQ plus community and you know, everything wonderful about that. But more importantly, they do a lot of work throughout the year that isn't always seen, but it's very, very important. They hold talks and seminars and conferences with different businesses, with organizations, with communities. They do a lot of lobbying as well, both at the local level within local government, but also at the wider national government level too. And they also work a lot within the LGBTQ community with youth, for example, that have had trouble with maybe their parents, they've been kicked out of home, maybe they're having issues with their mental health because they're trying to kind of understand who they are in this world. But also, like I say, working with the wider LGBTQ plus community to support them in their endeavours. So they do a lot of work behind the scenes, not just the big events that go on. But yeah, because it's a very it's very close to home for me here in the southwest of England, being my local charity. But, you know, it's a very important thing for me as well, because I'll be honest, most of the people that I've met online, most of my friends online are part of that community as well. So it's a really, really important thing for me to support and to be an ally of.
Well, it's a great cause, and you've been doing absolutely sterling work this the whole of this month. I mean, it's been very rare to find you not streaming at most some time of day or night. So fabulous. Where are you up to so far, out of idle curiosity?
In terms of the fundraising. So we initially set a target this year of £1,000, and we surpassed that yesterday. We're at £1,280.31.
Fantastic.
Last year we raised £1,600, which after gift aid became £2,000. So that's what Bristol Pride received last year. So our current target right now is to try and match last year's goal, which was £1,600. To be honest, if we can smash that, that would be phenomenal. If we could maybe go even further, I mean, it would be incredible to raise even more this year. But that's where we're at the moment, £1,280.31.
Well, that's a phenomenal achievement already. I'm hoping that we can add a bit more to that tonight. So like I say, my donation to the charity is going to be whatever HUDs wins off my question packs. I haven't made them obscenely difficult just to try and avoid giving to charity. But we're going to play the game and see how we get on. And I would encourage as many of you as are possible and able to try and match HUDs' win, or whatever you can. If you're in a position to do so, then anything you can donate to a marvellous charity would be very gratefully received. Lupine, thank you very much for that gifted sub. To Daru, welcome into the fam. Enjoy ad-free viewing for the next month or so. So we're going to start with the Hive, and this is where HUDs is going to make his mark. He's going to be put on the spot, show you what he's made of. Is he up to my trivia? For those of you who haven't played before, the Hive is a Hive Mind game. It's got one hot seat player. That is going to be HUDs tonight. He is going to be the hot seat player, and you are going to be the Hive Mind who are potentially going to be helping him out to get as many answers right as possible. I'll explain the rules as we go. Principally, though, for you in the lobby game, you need to answer a multiple choice question by whispering A to E or 1 to 5 to Persephone's Twitch bot, not in the public chat when the questions come up. Now, you can join in or leave at any time during the game. The lobby is only for the hot seat player, which is obviously going to be HUDs, as long as I remember to type his name into the fast track player list. However, because I'm a terrible programmer, I do need at least a handful of people to come in, otherwise the game will soft lock. So, if we're all ready, let's open up this lobby, and a few of you, if you could type in this code, that would be great. So, anyone can join this, but it will be HUDs who is fast-tracked into the hot seat. Everyone else is very welcome to play in the Hive Mind, and all you need to do is whisper to the bot at any point. You don't need to join this lobby to be in the Hive Mind. You can join at any time, and you'll still get to take part in the game. As I said, the top 3 worker drones in the Hive will get a little prize, and the points are awarded by how many people get questions wrong plus 1. So let's say 20 players attempt one question and only one person gets it right. That person will get 19, the number of people who got it wrong, plus 1 points, so 20 points. If lots of you get it right, then you get fewer points, but you still get points, which is good. HUDs is the one who has to try and judge how the Hive have played, because at each phase there are 4 questions which all have a superlative format. Which of these is the most, the biggest, the smallest, the shortest, the fastest, etc. HUDs in each phase has to play 3 of the 4 questions that will be presented. The question he doesn't play will go into the final phase, which I'll talk a bit more about later on. But critically, these are questions that HUDs himself will not answer. He will just have to judge the Hive. At each question of the phase, there are increasingly more options. We start with 2, then 3, then 4. For every one HUDs gets right, the reward for the question increases and it accumulates, and he's going to hope to keep it in the final phase. The key thing here is HUDs can answer in one of 3 ways. He can either answer the question himself, he can trust the Hive, or he can mistrust the Hive. Trusting the Hive means he will take the plurality answer of the Hive as the answer he goes with. Mistrusting means he assumes that the plurality of the Hive will be incorrect. If that's a little bit confusing, it will become clear along the way. All you've got to remember in the Hive is that you need to answer the multiple choice questions to the best of your ability. Hopefully that makes a certain amount of sense. And at each phase, you must use the Hive at least once, and you must answer yourself at least once, HUDs. Are you broadly happy with the rules?
Broadly, I'm sure I'll be coming back to them at some point.
Well, I will be here to hold your hand all the way through. I'm going to be friendly host tonight, so I will try and sort of... I'm not going to drip feed too much information to you, because obviously I've written the questions myself, so I do have all the answers in front of me, but I'll be on your side because I want you to do as well as possible. Just before we get going, let me say good evening to Paulister, Zanon, Kolo, Tadaru, Lupine, Shapes, Zeph, Itsotley, Reese, Shiny Zangsu, Curse Toucan, Oni, Topper, Zeus, HUDs, hello HUDs, David, Teed, Panda, Elspeth the Pict, Score, Danger Dimple, Stripes, Ben in Sweden, Matt the Sprat, Jimmy Diamonds, Cowboy Knuckles, Jers, and anyone else who is lurking, loitering, and lingering in the chat. You are most welcome to be here. Thank you so much for joining us for this collaboration stream. It's going to be a lot of fun. Not quite right there, NB, NB9, IUGF, not IGUF, IUGF.
Iguff.
Oh, hello, Garrett. Welcome on in. Doesn't matter because this is going to be HUDs anyway, so even if you haven't joined this lobby, you can join the Hive at any point simply by answering the questions by whispering them to the bot. Shall we pick a player?
Let's pick one. Who's it going to be?
Let's find out.
I'm so excited to find out who's it going to be.
HUD 601, you are our Queen Bee, you are in control of the Hive. Welcome to the game. How you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. I'm excited. I don't know what to expect.
Do you do a lot of sort of quizzing, trivia stuff at all?
No, I'm terrible at it. We usually go to like a Monday night pub quiz with the extended family, and I am genuinely terrible at it.
Ah, right.
If it's not related to Formula One or video games, kind of, I'm useless.
Well, we'll see how we get on, and we'll try and tease you towards some right answers. Remember, you have got the Hive on your side as well, so it's how best you can judge the Hive. How well do you think the community know it? Remember, we have got a lot of quiz veterans in here from the Game Night community who are generally very good at their stuff, so to speak. I will return to the rules over the course of the evening, but the objective here is to get as much as we possibly can. Are you ready to play?
Yes, very ready.
Let's go to phase number 1. So, 20 points, which is £2, and 2 options for the first question. Here is your board. Which of these artists released a song called Angels earliest? Which of these Sonic the Hedgehog characters is canonically the youngest? Which of these James Cameron films gross the most money at the international box office? And as they appear on the Mercator projection, which of these capital cities is furthest east? So, of those 4 questions, you will have to answer 3. The one that you choose not to answer will go to the final phase, and you'll have to judge the Hive on it. You won't actually get to answer it yourself. Bear in mind, there are only 2 options for this first question that you pick. Sometimes people want to get the hardest one out of the way when there's only 2 options and thinking might be a little bit easier to narrow them down. Some people want to get the easy ones and get some points into the bank. What are you thinking with that?
Oh, I'm thinking the one. I'm fairly bad with geography, so
Okay.
I'm kind of leaning to leaving that one for the Hive. So I'm looking at the others.
Okay.
I'm thinking that we might start with the Sonic question.
Okay, get into the flow of it. They hopefully guarantee some points on the board. We'll have to see. Hive, this will come over to you first. A or B or 1 or 2. Whisper it to the bot. I will make it emote only in the chat so you can't accidentally type an answer in there. 20 points or £2 if you can make the right decision here, HUD. Nice and quiet from you for this moment. This one is just for the Hive for now. And Hive, here is the first question. Which of these Sonic the Hedgehog characters is canonically the youngest? A. Sonic the Hedgehog or B. Amy Rose? Time. So, let me turn emote only off. 24 players answered that one. We don't know yet what they said. Do you have an inkling on this?
Oh, if you'd brought up Tails, yes, because I know Tails' age.
Tails was one of the other options. Of course, there's 5 options written for every question, but of course it's only picked 2 of them on this occasion.
I think I know it.
What are you leaning towards?
I'm leaning towards Amy. I think Amy's younger than Sonic. I think Sonic's actually canonically quite old. And I think Amy, off the top of my head, is maybe like 11 canonically, or 12. I think Sonic's meant to be like 13 or 14.
Do you want to? So, are you leaning towards playing this yourself? Because you've got the Hive options there. You can trust them. If you think the majority or the plurality will get this, you can trust them. But remember, you can only trust and mistrust once, and you can answer up to 2 yourself. Mistrust. You're going to answer it yourself. Okay. What are you going for?
Yeah. I'm going to go with Amy.
Amy, you think Amy Rose is canonically the youngest? You want us to lock in B?
Yes.
Okay, we'll lock in B. First of all, we're going to see how the Hive got on. If you are right in the Hive, you'll go green. If not, you'll go red.
This is now making me worry.
Lots of corrects. And you are on the same page. Yes, 83% of the Hive were incorrect there. It was Amy Rose. You made the right decision there, Huds. Very well played. Just 17% going for Sonic the Hedgehog. Well done. If you are one of the 83% who gave us Amy Rose, you've been awarded 5 points in the Hive so far. And Huds, you got your first points in the bank. Well played. Let's play on.
Nice.
So that's £2 in the bank so far, or potentially £2, because of course we've got the final phase to go as well. The next question, you'll be shown 3 options, and you get 30 points if you can make the right decision. All 3 options are still available to you: answer, trust, and mistrust. Where do you want to go next? Oh, and just to clarify on that, yes, Amy Rose is 12, Sonic is 15. Other options that could have come up there: Tails would have been 8, Knuckles 16, and Big the Cat at 18. But those 3 didn't come up. So, but yeah, they were the 2 next to each other, 12 and 15. Pretty tricky one, but that's where we started. So,
Tough start.
Where to next?
Let's go. Which of these artists released a song called Angels earliest? Because this one's going to be a tricky one.
Okie dokie. Hive, over to you. Here is the question with 3 options. Have a look at this. Which of these artists released a song called Angel or Angels earliest? Robbie Williams, Shaggy, or Judas Priest? Time. And Race Pro UK, welcome to the stream. So, 23 in the Hive attempting this one. You a big music fan? Do you know any of those?
I know both Robbie Williams and Shaggy's versions, and I know that Robbie Williams came before Shaggy.
Okay.
I just don't know when Judas Priest released it. If they did. I'm presuming they did.
All of the answers did, yeah.
I'm tempted to lean towards Judas Priest because I think they predate Robbie Williams. I think they're fairly old. I've never heard anything from Judas Priest. I know, terrible.
Well, you've also got the just to refresh. You've also got options to use the Hive. Now, if you think as a Hive mind, more players know this than don't, you can trust the Hive. If you think as a Hive mind, most people would get this one wrong, you can mistrust the Hive. Those are the options available to you. Remember, if you do answer this one yourself, you must use the Hive on the next question. And Compassion in Flames, welcome to the stream.
I knew Jimmy Diamonds would have a curt me for this one. I'm trying to think. So now I'm trying to play the long game. I think it's Judas Priest.
You want to play yourself?
Yeah.
All right. We'll lock in C, Judas Priest. And we'll go and have a look at the Hive and see how they got on. If you're right in the Hive, you'll go green. If not, you'll go red. That's a lot of red. Not the right answer.
Oh.
The Hive were thinking the same way as you. 61% going for Judas Priest. The answer is actually Robbie Williams. Robbie Williams in 1997, Shaggy in 2001, Judas Priest in 2005.
Ooh.
They were around a long time before, but that is one of their later albums, so you'd have needed to mistrust the Hive there in order to get the points. Other options that could have come up there: Aerosmith in 1987 and Madonna in 1984, which didn't come up. So you are resigned to using the Hive on the next question. If you did give me Robbie Williams in the Hive, if you're one of the 22% of you who did that, 19 points going to you, and very well played. We'll add those to your total. But no points on that one. One more question in this phase. Let's go back to the board. 4 options are going to be displayed, and remember, you're going to have to use the Hive. So you either want to pick a really hard one that you think they're all going to get wrong, or a really easy one that you think they're all going to get right, so you know which way to go.
Let's go for the Mercator projection.
Mercator projection. That does mean the James Cameron question will be left until the final phase, and you will not be able to answer it yourself. Okay. Not that you can answer this one yourself anyway. Right, Hive, over to you. Here's a question with 4 options. Let's get HUDs some more points. Here's your question. As they appear on the Mercator projection, which of these capital cities is furthest east? Kuala Lumpur, Caracas, Reykjavik, or Tehran? And for anyone new who is joining the game, you can join in at any time. You might as well attempt every question. There's no other penalties for being wrong. If you're just joining the stream now, you can join in simply by answering. Your answers will be processed into the Hive, so just answer the question to the bot at any point if you would like to play. You said geography is not your strongest point.
No. I know Kuala Lumpur's Malaysia, fairly far east, been there. Reykjavik, I want to say Iceland?
You'd be right. I was there myself quite recently, it's very nice.
Tehran, I can't remember which country it is, but I think it's Middle East. And Caracas, I'm not sure, but I'm going to choose to trust the Hive on this, and I think, off the top of my head, it's Kuala Lumpur.
Okay, so when you use the Hive, we do lock in the correct answer first. So you're going to trust the Hive. You think they'd know this?
Yes.
Okay, let's first of all trust the Hive and lock in the correct answer, which is Kuala Lumpur, the capital of Malaysia. Very well, maybe very well trusted. Very good knowledge. We want to see a lot of green now.
Oh. Looking good.
Excellent. Plurality. 62% going for Kuala Lumpur. If you're one of the 62% who gave me Kuala Lumpur, you got 9 points added to your Hive total. Very well played. Caracas is... any ideas, Huds?
I honestly can't think where it is.
That's Venezuela in South America. Reykjavik, as you quite rightly pointed out, is Iceland, and Tehran, it is Middle East. It is, in fact, Iran. The only other one that could have come up there to possibly spook you was Tripoli, which is the capital of Libya, but that one didn't come up. Right to trust the Hive. Good choice there, 62% getting the right answer. That's a fairly solid start. Let's just take a look at how the Hive are getting on after the first round. The first phase, rather. So a tick if you got the question right. Quite a few getting 1 and 3. NB getting the second one right, and look at this, Zeus, 3 for 3 on a maximum score of 33 points so far. Very well played. Got Ben in Sweden, Cowboy Knuckles and Tadaru all on 24, and NB just with that second question getting it right with 19 points, currently in third place. Huds, you are up to 50 points. That equates to £5 towards Bristol Pride, and that is the end of phase number 1. So far so good. How you feeling?
Yeah, feeling good. Doing better than I thought I would already.
2 out of 3 is pretty good effort. Good, strong use of the Hive, but also I think some good knowledge there yourself. I think you'd have probably gone for Kuala Lumpur had you had the option to there. Getting caught out on the Angel question, perhaps. It does mean that the James Cameron question on international box offices goes to the final phase, where only the Hive will get to answer, and you'll have to try and figure out whether you think more people would know it or not, but we'll talk a bit more about that later on. For now, really strong start. Let's go to phase number 2. So 40 points up for grabs, starting with 2 options, and your board is... Which of these video games has the most playable characters in its base game before completion? Which of these wars broke out earliest? Which of these drinks contains the most alcoholic units? Which of these TV shows' first seasons have the largest main cast, i.e. actors with star billing? Quite a lot of information to take in from that board right there. What are you thinking, either that you want to see or don't want to see or want to get rid of?
I'm trying to think which ones are going to have answers that are very similar or close together, which is going to make it harder in later questions. So,
yes.
Oh, this is a real tricky one. I think I might start off with the ensemble style things. We'll start off with the TV shows first.
TV shows, okay. So only 2 options to be displayed. Hive coming to you first. A or B or 1 or 2. Let's get Hive. Let's get Hud some more points. Here is your question. Which of these TV shows' first seasons have the largest main cast? Game of Thrones or Breaking Bad? Time. So, as the Hive are locked out, 25 answers from players in the Hive. So again, you've got all your options bet. You can answer up to 2 questions, and you can trust and you can mistrust. What are you thinking? What are you thinking here?
So I've recently been watching Breaking Bad again, so I know roughly how many are in the main cast. Game of Thrones, I've watched a few times. I know that they have a big cast, but I know season 1 was very much concentrated on Winterfell, and thus the main cast might not have been as... I'm worried it's going to be a bit of a trick question, but I'm probably going to answer this, and I'm going to go with Game of Thrones.
Okay. We'll talk about how season 1 was concentrated on Winterfell in just a minute. You're going to play yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll lock in a Game of Thrones. First of all, let's go over to the Hive and see how they got on. Green if you were right here, red if you were wrong. That's a lot of green lights.
Making me think Yeah.
You were bang on the money. 96% of the Hive. Just the one wrong answer in the Hive. So 2 points if you gave me Game of Thrones, one player going for Breaking Bad. Yeah, Game of Thrones wasn't centered on Winterfell in season 1 at all. It was all over the place. You had it started in Winterfell. You had Winterfell, and then you had Essos, and you had King's Landing, and you had the Reach. And there was all over the place, all over the shop. But yeah, want to hazard a guess as to what the star billing was in season 1?
Oh, yeah. And now I think about it, all different ones. It's probably going to be upwards of 20.
Not quite, 18. Conversely, Breaking Bad was actually the smallest of the options that could have come up. How many?
Oh, 6.
6 is right, very good. Yeah, 6. 6 in Breaking Bad, 18 in Game of Thrones. The other ones that could have added some spice to the mix: Lost, which had 14, Heroes, which had 12, and The Walking Dead, which had 7. But those didn't come up, and you've made the right decision. You've still got all 3 answering options open to you, and 2 points if you gave me a right answer in the Hive there. Let's go back to the board. 3 options to be displayed. Playing for £5 on this next question.
Let's go with what are on video games. Most
Video
playable
games,
characters.
most playable characters. Okay, 3 options for you in the Hive. And oh, sorry, I didn't disable emote only. Sorry, I'll disable it for all of 5 seconds and then re-enable it. Here's your question, Hive. Which of these video games has the most playable characters in its base game before completion? Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Soul Calibur, Virtua Fighter 2. Time. So that one's not quite as popular with the Hive. Just 22 going for an answer there. Now, what are you thinking?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I have no idea.
Do you think... Hello, Mendez! Mendez with the raid. Thank you so much. Welcome in, Raiders. We are in the middle of Huds' cash game of the Hive, raising money for Bristol Pride. Great to have you with us. If you want to join in with the Hive, welcome Purple Racks, Mendez, Pocky Boo, Skywind Andy Lion. Welcome, Skywind Andy Lion. That's a good name. Welcome to you all. You can join in with the game at any point once the question is live on the screen. More information coming up on that shortly. You've got no idea, Huds. Okay, so you probably don't want to answer this one yourself.
I was a Tekken lad. Tekken lad, so I never played Street Fighter or Virtua Fighter.
Full disclosure, Tekken was one of the other options that could have come up here.
Then I would have known the answer to that one at least.
Do you know, have a guess what the 5th option might have been?
Oh, it's going to be something like Super Smash Bros. Or something.
No, earlier.
Earlier than that,
Way
no
earlier,
idea which
the first one. The other one that could have come up was Mortal Kombat, which we'll talk about a bit more later on. So, if you've got no idea, I'm assuming you don't want to play this one yourself.
No, I'm not going to play this myself. The question is, do I trust the Hive to know this, or do I think that many of them will be like me and not have a clue and would have guessed, and thus guessed wrong? I think I'm going to mistrust the Hive.
You don't think Plurality will have known this?
No.
Okay.
I think a lot of guesses on this one.
All right, well, we will lock in the correct answer and we'll mistrust the Hive. If you were going to take a stab in the dark, what would you say?
Probably Virtua Fighter 2.
Let's have a look. Ooh. No? I just got a little crackling and I had a little momentary panic and then the button didn't work. I'll try that again. We were going to say Virtua Fighter 2, but that's not your answer. The correct answer is actually... A, Street Fighter 2 Turbo from 1994. So, we want to see lots of red lights here now. Red if you're wrong, green if you're right. Yes! Excellent. 50% went for Soul Calibur there. 50% going for Soul Calibur. So plurality was a wrong answer. So if most of the Hive had said either Soul Calibur or Virtua Fighter 2, you would have been good there. So yeah, the correct answer was Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Well done if you're among the 32% who gave that answer. That's 16 points to you. Yeah, so Street Fighter 2 actually had 12. The Turbo bit was important because the original Street Fighter 2 only had 8, but the Turbo edition had all 4 bosses playable as well. Virtua Fighter 2 had 11, Tekken had 10, which wasn't up there. Soul Calibur was only 9, and Mortal Kombat, the original beat-em-up, which wasn't up there, was 7. Good play there, Huds. You have still got the option on the next board to answer yourself or trust the Hive, depending how the question falls for you. Let's go back to the board now. And 60 points up for grabs if you can make a right decision here. Remember, one of these you get to answer now, one of them you don't get to answer in the final phase.
Let's go for alcohol.
Alcohol. You want a chance to answer the alcohol question?
Yeah.
And welcome to Many More and Broken Hyperlink as well. Great to have you here. So, if you have just joined from Mindez's raid, you can take part in this answering. All you need to do is whisper to Persephone's Twitch bot A, B, C, or D, whatever you think the correct answer is. She's the bot that asks the questions. Just whisper to her, not in public chat. So, we're going to look at the alcohol question. 4 options to be displayed. Hive, over to you. Which of these drinks contains the most alcoholic units? A double Southern Comfort and lemonade, a Bacardi Breezer, a pint of Heineken, a medium glass of Cabernet Sauvignon. Okay, there's time. Tricky one. 24 players have attempted that in the Hive. You've got a little bit of time now to possibly do some mathsy things here if you wanted to.
So, off the top of my head, it's definitely not a Bacardi Breezer. They have
Okay.
barely anything in. Pint of Heineken. I'm fairly certain Heineken's a relatively standard level, so I don't think it's too much. It's probably going to be around 2.5 units. Bacardi Breezer is going to be like 1.5. The one that always gets me is wine, a medium glass versus a double SoCo. I'm leaning towards double SoCo because it's a spirit and it's a double, which means it's going to be probably around 3.5 units. And I think a medium glass of Cab Sab is going to be probably 2.5. I think I'm going to answer this myself, and I'm going to go with a double SoCo.
You're not going to trust the Hive. You want to play on your own steam.
Yes.
Okay. And we're going to lock in A.
Yes.
All right, let's lock in a double Southern Comfort and lemonade. Playing it yourself. Let's go to the Hive and see how the Hive got on. Green if you're right, red if you're not.
If it's a Bacardi Breezer, I'm never going to live this down.
A lot of red in the Hive. And the Hive were thinking the same way as you, but actually it's not the right answer. 58% of the Hive agreeing with you, but unfortunately wrong in their assessment. Well done if you gave me C, a pint of Heineken. Let me disable emote only. Yes, 25%, 19 points if you give me a pint of Heineken. It sounds like it shouldn't make sense, but believe it or not, a single shot of Southern Comfort only has 1 unit. So a double is only 2. Bacardi Breezer, as you point out, is 1.1 units. Cabernet Sauvignon is 2.3 units. That's a medium glass at 13%, 175 ml. Heineken is a standard lager, 5%, 568 ml, but that's actually 2.92 units. So, yeah. It's one. The other thing that would have really thrown a cat among the pigeons was half a pint of White Lightning, which didn't come up.
How many units in that, then?
Half a pint of White Lightning is 2.15 units. That's 284 ml at 7.5%. James, I just got a question about alcohol correct. What the hell is happening? Quite right. But no, pint of Heineken. So, wrong decision there. And incidentally, if it's any consolation, if you trusted the Hive, that would also have been an incorrect decision because only a mistrust would have got you the points there from the Hive. But well done if you did give me a pint of Heineken. 19 points going to you. Let's check out the scores in the lobby, or in the Hive mind, at the end of Phase 2. Reese getting 2 of those there, Shapes getting 2 of them, Lupine getting 2, Zeph getting 2, Tadaru getting 2, Maxio and Oni picking up all 3, Ben in Sweden getting 2, and we've got another 3-way tie in second place, Ben, Maxio and Tadaru at the moment. Zeph and Zeus getting the alcohol question wrong, goodness gracious me, what's happening there? Both on 35 points, Oni currently with the lead on 51. So we've got a bottle of Southern Comfort. I took it out of the bar last night and I sort of left it on the hob and it's sort of still there in the kitchen. I should probably go and move it at some point. Sam, my dude, it's our convict friend Sam from Down Under. Welcome to the stream, Sam, and Maxio, welcome on in as well. You are doing very well at the moment. That is the end of Phase 2. Hugs you up to 140 points so far, which translates to £14 for Bristol Pride if you can hang on to it with 2 phases to go. That's the end of Phase 2. And all this talk of alcohol has reminded me that I am dry. So I am going to go get myself another glass of Prosecco. Huds, can you hold the fort for 30 seconds?
just leave me here, yeah. Well, Ben has gone away. Let me tell you guys. By the way, if you do donate to Bristol Pride tonight on the Tilter fight, a couple of things for you. You can firstly put your donation towards our poll. Tomorrow night, I'm doing a one-hit KO race with myself, Tej, and RPG on Sonic 3 Air, and you can decide which character I'm going to be using. So if you are going to donate, please make sure you put your money towards the poll and help choose the character I'm going to be using. Second thing, if you're in the UK, don't forget to gift aid your donation if you are a taxpayer. And third and final thing, if you donate at least £25, not only will I write you a personalised thank you note, but you can also claim for yourselves a set of my TED stickers as well. Just make sure you select that reward on the Tiltify page. If you want to donate, pride.hud601.co.uk. All money is going towards Bristol Pride.
Thank you very much to our sponsors for those messages right there. And we are back. Welcome back to part 2 of the Hive. Now I am refreshed. Merlin Mew and Fired, welcome to the stream. Huds, 2 phases in. 2 out of 3 on both phases. That's pretty good going, I would say.
I'm quite pleased with this so far. I think my logic has been at least the same as the Hive's for the most part.
That's very true, actually. You've been you and the Hive have been thinking along the same plurality of the Hive have been thinking along the same wavelength as you for most of this. The wars question we didn't answer, so that goes into the final phase, and we'll get to see the options for that a little bit later on. For now, we're going to go on to phase 3. I will warn you, the questions do generally tend to get harder as the game goes on, as any good self-respecting game show format should do. There should be some escalating jeopardy. You ready to go back to the game?
I am ready.
Let's go to phase 3. So, 60 points is what you're playing for, that's £6, and 2 options to be displayed on this first question. Your board is, excluding special stages, which of these Sonic the Hedgehog games have the most zones? Which of these works of fiction has the highest word count? Which of these celestial objects is furthest from the Earth? Which of these car registration plates was issued earliest?
I'm really worried about that first question because I guarantee it's one that everyone would expect me to know and I will get it wrong. We'll start with car registration plates. I think if we just have 2 options there, it'll probably be the easiest.
Okay, so special stages is something you might want to think about. That should be an area of strength for you. So if you can leave a question till an option to answer the question till the one where there's 4 options, that could be some sensible points, safe points. But we'll wait and see. For now, car registration plates. Hive, over to you first of all. 2 options to be displayed, and here is the question. Which of these car registration plates was issued earliest? RF22LSH TJ15PDQ. There's time in the Hive. I think it's fair to say the RNG has maybe been a little bit friendly to you there. They could have made that a lot more difficult out of the 5 options it could have picked. It's made them a little bit possibly easier. I don't know. How do you drive yourself? Are you a driver?
I do drive. Been driving since I was 18, and no car registrations. At least reasonably well, going back a fair bit. Mm-hmm. It's always one of my strong suits. Yeah, it has been very friendly to me, hasn't it? Because if it's not starting with a leading 5 or a 6, that means it's the first half of the year. So it's going to be option B. It was 2015.
All right, let's lock in B. And we'll see how many of the Hive got that right. Green if you were right, Hive. And red if you weren't. Not unanimous, but 61% going for the right answer, which was B, TJ15PDQ. 10 points if you gave me B in the Hive. Very well played. And yes, as you pointed out, that was first issued in March 2015, whereas RF22 would have been issued in March 2022. Things that could have mixed things up a bit if you'd had the options 56, 60 and 69 thrown into the mix. That could have complicated matters somewhat. 56 being September 2006, 60 being September 2010 and 69 being September 2019. So yeah, that could have made it a little bit pricklier for you, but RNG on your side, clearly wanting to raise as much money as possible. 10 points in the Hive if you did give me a right answer there. Let's go back to the board.
Oh,
so
I think
Sonic,
we'll go
fiction or space.
I'm going to leave the Sonic question till next.
Okay.
I am terrible with works of fiction. I think that's going to be complete potluck.
Okay.
We will go with celestial objects.
Okay, so celestial objects. You have still got all 3 answering options open to you. We'll give this to the Hive and see what they think. Which Which of these celestial objects is furthest from the Earth? The International Space Station, Pluto or Proxima Centauri? And there's time. How's your knowledge of?
Well, I know where the International Space Station is. I think most of us do. Definitely the closest.
Right.
The question is, what is Proxima Centauri? I'm guessing it's either a galaxy or an asteroid because it's not a planet. Oh no! And the thing is, if it's a galaxy, it has to be further than Pluto. If it's an asteroid, it could be within. Oh, normally, okay. Here's my thinking. Normally, asteroids are not given full names; they're given like designations. So it'll have like a name -8 or something like that. Only very few have a name like Halley's Comet. Pluto, I know, is very far away because it's no longer a planet. Oh, I want to say Proxima Centauri is like a galaxy, in which case it has to be further away.
I will come in at this point and say you've still got trust and mistrust the Hive available. So if you're reasonably confident, but you think the Hive would also know, or maybe not know, you can use the Hive. And also bear in mind, if you answer this one yourself, you cannot answer the next one yourself. And I think you were saving the Sonic question there, and you may want to answer that one yourself. So
I'm going to trust the Hive. I think they'll be able to deduce this one for me.
Okay. What do you think it is? If you were pressed, if you were going to answer yourself, what would you say?
I would probably go C. I think Proxima Centauri is a galaxy.
We'll trust the Hive, and we'll lock in the correct answer, which is Proxima Centauri. It's a star. It's the closest star after the Sun. It's miles away. Green if you're right in the Hive. We want to see lots of green. That looks good for us.
Oh, beautiful.
That looks very good. Yes, 78% going for Proxima Centauri. 6 points if you did give me C. Yeah, it's Proxima Centauri.
It's at least 2 miles.
It's the only one of the 5 that could have come up that's measured in light years. So 4.2 light years away, whereas Pluto is a mere 4.2 to 5 billion kilometers. And the International Space Station is 408 kilometers. The other options that could have come up, which might have thrown a cat among the pigeons, the Sun, which is 152 million kilometers. And this one I was really sad didn't come up because it could have been very interesting. Voyager 1, which is the furthest artificial object from the Earth at 23.3 billion kilometers. But none of them are as far away as Proxima Centauri is. And welcome to Mini Mall and Nacho the Adventurer. Thank you very much for the follows right there. Welcome on in. And AB Meiji Eisens, a brand new Halo. Welcome to the stream. Remember, you can join in with the Hive at any point, simply by whispering to the bot when the questions are up. Proxima Centauri is the correct answer, and 6 points if you gave me that in the Hive. Now, you've got a mistrust or an answer yourself left, and you were leaning towards the Sonic question.
Yeah, and I'm going to go with the Sonic question.
You are, so you're going to leave works of fiction for the final phase.
Yes.
Remember, the final phase is the one where the money is won or lost, so we'll see what happens.
I have to trust this lot to know it.
Yeah, you've got to trust them to know it and sort of pitch how well they know it. We'll go with the Sonic question. Nacho, welcome to the stream as well. Good to have you here. So, we'll go for the Sonic question. Hive, 4 options, and it's over to you. Excluding special stages, which of these Sonic the Hedgehog games have the most zones? Sonic 3D Blast, Sonic the Hedgehog 8-bit, Sonic the Hedgehog 16-bit, or Sonic the Hedgehog 2 16-bit? Time. Now, you're a bit of a Sonic fan.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah. Okay, so
Let's go through them.
3 of these games I speedrun, so I should know this. So, Sonic the Hedgehog 16-bit has 7 zones. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 16-bit has 11 zones. Sonic 3D Blast has, I think, 6. Or if you include the extra final one, 7. Sonic the Hedgehog 8-bit's the only one I've never played or speedrun, and I don't know how many it has, but I don't think it has 11. I'm going to answer this. I'm going to go with D, Sonic 2 16-bit.
You're going to lock in D, play yourself, not use the Hive?
Correct.
Okay, let's lock in D, Sonic the Hedgehog 2. And we'll see how you got on in the Hive. Green if you did give me the right answer, and if you didn't, you'll go red. Plurality are with you. 57% going for Sonic the Hedgehog 2. If you gave me D in the Hive, 11 points to you. Yeah, how many in Sonic 2 did you say?
I believe it's 11.
Correct. 3D?
I think it's 7 if you include the extra final zone bit.
It's 8 if you include the final fight.
That's 8. Okay.
And you're now going to name them for us.
I should know this because it's 3D.
Green Grove, Rusty Ruin, Spring Stadium,
Panic Puppet, Geiger, Gene Gadget, Volcano Valley, Final Fight.
Final Fight. That's 7. I've missed one. No, there's definitely 8. There's another one. Either way, we must have missed one. I thought we got the facts.
Green Grove, Rusty Ruin, Spring Stadium, Volcano Valley, Gene Gadget, Panic Puppet.
Final Fight.
No, 7.
There's 7. There are only 7.
Yeah.
Huh. Where did I get 8 from? I think the Wikipedia is probably wrong.
Ben, you're in chat. How many's it got?
Green Grove, Rusty Ruin, Springsteen, Diamond Dust, Volcano Valley, God, I didn't think I was rock on the trivia.
Yeah,
so they've gone through under at least 2 pairs of eyes on this one. Sonic 1 16-bit is next.
That's 7.
7 including the final zone. Sonic 1 8-bit.
I have no idea.
That's 6. And then the one that didn't come up was actually the lowest, was Sonic Spinball, which has...
4.
4 is right, yes. So, well done to the Hive if you gave me D, and well done to Huds, that's another correct answer. Let's go and check in with the Hive at the end of that phase. Brand New Halo just getting the 1 there, Coda getting the 1, Curse2 getting a couple, Mindez getting all 3, very nice. David picking up 3, lots of 3s going on here. And look at this, up at the top, Oni is still leading with 78. Maxio and Tadaru both on a very nice 69 there with 3 correct answers in that round. And Zeph currently in third with 62, also with 3 correct answers in that round. That is good points from the Hive. We do need to start separating out those top players a little bit, because we've got those 3 prizes we need to give away to the top scorers. Huds, you're up to 350 points, which equates to £35 for Bristol Pride, and you've got 1 more phase, and if you can keep it. That's the end of phase number 3. So, leaving out the works of fiction word count question, that will go to the final phase. Again, that very strong performance there. I think, were you 3 for 3 on that one? I think you were.
3 for... yeah, I think I was, yeah.
3 for 3, so solid performance. 1 more phase to go, arguably the hardest questions of the game. But remember, you have got that Hive help as well, either to trust or to mistrust the Hive. And, of course, more chance of getting them if it's a blind guess when there are fewer options, of course. So, without any further ado, let's go to phase number 4. 90 points, the equivalent of £9 for this first question. And here's your board. Which of these politicians became leader of their party first? Which of these religious figures was born most recently? Which of these Shakespeare plays has the most lines? Not adjusted for inflation, which of these artists has had the most paid for one of their works at auction?
4 areas I'm probably going to have no idea of.
Well, politics, religion, Shakespeare and art.
Yeah, basically.
Nice.
All the culture. Oh, blimey. I think if we're going between 2 options, let's start with Shakespeare.
Shakespeare?
Yeah.
Okay, 2 options to be displayed. 90 points and £9 added to your total with a right answer. Hive, it's over to you. A or B, 1 or 2. Here is the question. Which of these Shakespeare plays has the most lines? Hamlet or the Comedy of Errors? Time. And a reminder, if you are just joining us, you can join in answering any questions at any point simply by whispering when the question is on the screen. So you're not into Shakespeare?
I was forced to read Shakespeare in school. That's about as far as it went.
Right. Any ideas out of these 2?
Not a clue.
Okay.
Not a clue. I am going... I think we're going to start with trusting the Hive on this. I think they'll know this.
Okay.
They are far more cultured than I.
We're going to put our faith in the Hive. If you were going to pick one, what would you pick?
probably Hamlet. I haven't actually heard of the Comedy of Errors.
Okay, it does. I can promise you, it does exist. We're going to trust the Hive. You would have said Hamlet, and you would have been absolutely right. Let's see if the Hive knew that. We want to see lots of green here, Hive. Green if you're right, red if you're wrong. That's good.
Everyone got it right.
100% of the 24 players who answered gave the answer Hamlet. So it's only 1 point to everyone in the Hive. But yeah, the Hive know that Hamlet is the longest of Shakespeare's plays, or maybe they knew that the Comedy of Errors is the shortest of Shakespeare's plays. Again, RNG favouring you there. Hamlet's got 4,030, the Comedy of Errors less than half, 1,785. Other options that... Oh, Christ on a bike. Okay, so... Yeah. My big dog is right outside my door, and she keeps gassing, and it's coming in here, and it's very warm in this room. So it's like living in a Barrett's home right now. Other options that could have come up: Henry V, which has 3,227, The Merchant of Venice, 2,662. The one which would have been upsetting, I think, for people, Titus Andronicus, 2,558. Despite being a very, very dark tragedy, it's not very long, only 2,500 lines. But Paulus the Redeeming, show me the doggo. Can you see her? Miney, do you want to come and say hello? No, fucking hell, dog, you absolute. So we'll do show me the doggo when she doesn't have quite as much gas, Paulus. Or maybe we'll get Dexter, and he's always happy to come on screen. Right to trust the Hive. Of course, it does mean you can't trust the Hive next time, and you might be putting your faith in yourself. You've still got to do that at least once this phase, but 100% of the Hive getting it right. Let's go back to the board. So, politics, religion, or art?
Let's go politics.
Politics. Do you follow British politics at all? Assuming it's British.
Reasonably. It depends how modern it is. I mean, let's not forget I'm only 32.
1 bottle of Febreze.
And thank you to Dari for the 294 bits, one bottle of Febreze. Thank you very much for the 294 bits. Yeah, we could do with some Febreze right about now. So, politics then. Hive, over to you. 3 options will be displayed. £10 being added to your jackpot if you can make the right decision here, Huds. Here is the question. Which of these politicians became leader of their party first? Paddy Ashdown, William Hague, Nigel Farage. There's your time. I hate to sully the stream by saying Nigel Farage. Big Chungus sends his regards. So he does. So, Ashdown, Hague, or Farage? So I do know it's Farage, but it's much funnier to say Farage.
Okay.
Do you know, first of all, which parties they might have been leaders of?
Paddy Ashdown is an Irish party. I'm not sure which one. I think. Might be wrong on that. If that was Plaid Cymru.
You might. Well, Plaid Cymru is Welsh.
Yeah, which is why it's either that or it's an Irish one.
And it's okay. If you say so.
William Hague, Conservative. Nigel Farage, as we all loathe, UKIP.
23 have attempted in the Hive, incidentally.
It's the era just before I really understood what politics was. I would have been so young. I'm tempted to go William Hague, but I don't know when Paddy Ashdown was leader of the party. Was William Hague ever leader of the Conservatives? I'm guessing he was.
All of the answers will be able to fulfil the criteria of the question, so all of the 5 options will have been leader of their party at some point. You have got the option to mistrust the Hive. If you don't think the Hive are, and you can't trust them, you've already done that. But if you don't think they'd know, you could mistrust the Hive.
I think they'd know it, that's the thing. I think on balance they'd know.
Tricky one then.
I'm gonna answer. I'm gonna go with B. William Hague.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll lock in B. William Hague. And we'll go and see how you got on in the Hive. Green if you were right, red if you were not. Well, it's like a trust would have been good here. But
I was about to say, I
gone the
fear
wrong
it's going to
way.
be Paddy Ashdown.
Yeah, Paddy Ashdown. Liberal Democrats, darling. Not Plaid Cymru or Sinn Féin or the DUP. First elected as leader of the Liberal Democrats in 1988, the year I was born. And the year you were born?
Year before.
Year before, okay. So 1988, that's the year I was born. William Hague was leader of the Conservative Party. He was elected after John Major's defeat in 1997. He was the first leader of the opposition to Tony Blair's administration. Nigel Farage first became leader of the United Kingdom Independence Party in 2006. Other options that might have thrown a cat among the pigeons there would have been Caroline Lucas, who was leader of the Green Party. The Green Party, Huds. Come on, the Green Party, first in 2008. And Sir Tony Blair, who was leader of the Labour Party, first became leader in 1994. Paddy Ashdown was the correct answer. Very well done to the 74% who got that right in the Hive. 7 points to you. Unfortunately, no points being added onto our total there, Huds, because that was a wrong decision. One more question this phase. You can either mistrust or answer yourself. Let's go back to the board. Religious figures or artworks? Bear in mind, the options you've got, you can either answer yourself or mistrust the Hive. So if you're inclined to think, I might mistrust the Hive, you want to give them a harder question.
That's what I'm thinking, which is why I'm leaning towards artists.
Because
no one knows how much art is worth.
or indeed sold for.
Yeah.
We're going to go with the art question?
Art question.
All right, Hive, over to you. 4 options for 100 points for Huds. Not adjusted for inflation, which of these artists has had the most paid for one of their works at auction? Andy Warhol, Jackson Pollock, Paul Cézanne, Rembrandt.
Not a Scooby.
Time. Have you heard of any of these people?
The only one I haven't heard of is Paul Cézanne.
Okay.
I've heard of the other 3.
Right. 23 have attempted it in the Hive. Do you think they'd know, or do you know?
I haven't got a clue, and I'm going to assume that they don't either. And if they get it, it's going to be by pure chance.
So we're going to mistrust the Hive?
We are, yes.
Okay. Out of idle curiosity, if you were going to play it, what would you have said?
Probably Andy Warhol.
You'd have been wrong. The correct answer was actually the one you hadn't heard of, Paul Cézanne. I will give you some details on that in just a moment. We want to see lots of red. Either A, B, or D needs to be in plurality for Huds to make. Oh, that's a good start. Good lord. Wow, only 2 players. It's Sotley and Zeph getting that in the Hive, going for Paul Cézanne. 22 points going to you guys. Very well done. Yeah, a plurality there was Rembrandt. 39% of the Hive thinking Rembrandt, 35% thinking Warhol, 17% go for Jackson Pollock, but 22 points going to Sotley and Zeph for getting Paul Cézanne. Yeah, so there's a difference between most prolific and obviously best sold, because generally art that gets sold at auction isn't things like the Mona Lisa, it isn't things like Portrait in Grey and Black, the portrait of the artist's mother by James Abbott McNeill Whistler. It's normally the lesser known stuff of the artist. Now, these are all appear in the top 20, I think. Of those 5, Paul Cézanne is a painting called The Card Players, sold in 2011 for $250 million. Of these, yeah, I know. Jackson Pollock was next. It's a painting called Number 17A, sold in 2015 for $200 million. Andy Warhol's Shot Sage Blue Marilyn, which is the only one I'd actually heard of, sold in 2022 for $195 million. Rembrandt's Pedant Portraits, etc., 2016 sold for $180 million. The one artist that didn't come up, Pablo Picasso, his most expensive painting sold at auction in 2015 for $179.4 million, Le Femme d'Alger. Tricky question, right to mistrust the Hive. Even though you didn't know, points can still go your way. So good decision made right there. Very well done. If you did give me Paul Cézanne in the Hive, 22 points going your way. That could have a dramatic impact on the board. Let's take a look at the Hive board at the end of phase 4. Couple of 2-pointers coming up here. more 2-pointers, more 2-pointers. There's It Sotley with a 3-point, moving up to 62 points. Zeph with the first and third, that very powerful third question, getting it right, moves into second place. Only clinging on to the top for now with 86 points, just 1 point clear of Zeph on 85. And Maxio currently in third with 77. Oh, goodness me, all the excitement is giving me hiccups. Right. HUDs, that's what's going on in the Hive, but you're up to 540 points. That is the total that you've taken into the jackpot. That's potentially £54 plus whatever we underwrite the game by. You get a guaranteed minimum, which is 10 times the number of questions you get right. But that is the jackpot that you're going to be battling it out for, and that is the end of Phase 4. How are you doing?
Yeah, feeling good. I'm still irritated about that politics one, because it's one of those ones where you think, like, my internal logic says it's this, but my heart says it should be that, and if I'd gone with that, I would have gone Paddy Ashdown. Seems like an easy one in hindsight.
There we are. That's the pressure of the hot seat, I guess. Now, we are coming to the final phase. Now, the final phase works a little bit differently. 4 of the questions that we've seen but not answered are going into this phase, plus 1 more that nobody has seen yet, which will be the first one and set the benchmark. Now, how this works, HUDs. The benchmark is set, you don't have to do anything with that, it's just for the Hive. From that point on, the Hive will get asked questions one at a time, and they will be asked them at random, in a random order. It won't be in the order necessarily that we've seen it. They'll be asked in a random order. And from that point, all you've got to do is slot in how many people know it relative to the other answers. What percentage of players know it relative to the others. So, on this first question, if, say, 50% get it right, for the next question, you'd have to say, is it more than 50% know this or fewer than 50%? Thereafter, slotting in A, B, and C, A, B, C, D, and finally A, B, C, D, E. So you've got to judge the difficulty of the question against what you think the Hive will know based on how they've played. Hive players, you get the same scoring system as before. You get points for every player who gets it wrong plus 1. 5 questions in the final. And HUDs, we want you to do as well as possible, potentially £54 plus going to Bristol Pride. You've earned it, but can you keep it? Let's find out.
We'll see.
Let's go to the final phase. So that 540 points that you've earned, the £54, has been split into equal increments of 10%, 15%, 25% and 50%. So for each of the 4 questions you answer, you will get that amount. £5.40, £8.10, £13.50 and £27 are the values that could be added to the jackpot. You've been a great sport though, and you've done very well up to this point already. So we are going to underwrite whatever you win, you'll leave with at least this amount. It's going to be 10 points times every question you got right, which gives you an underwrite value of 90 points, which is £9. No matter what else happens, £9 will be going to Bristol Pride this evening. Plus, anybody who wants to match HUDs' win, I encourage you to do that if you are in a position to do so and you would like to do that. That would be amazing of you. So, first question is one that we haven't seen, and all of these are just for the Hive. You don't have to make a decision on this first question. So, Hive, over to you. Here is the first question of the final phase. Which of these pride flags has the most distinct colours on it? All of these questions will have 5 options. Non-binary, gender fluid, bigender, intersex, transgender. Time. Tricky one to start with there. And I did promise you there'd be a pride question in here somewhere. So, 22 players have answered it. And this is just setting the benchmark, so we don't need to worry too much at this stage. If you were playing, what do you think the right answer is?
I'm honestly not 100% sure. I would be inclined to lean probably either towards non-binary or gender fluid.
Well, I would tell you. Sorry, go on. No, you go.
I was going to say, I would probably lean most towards probably gender fluid.
Well, I can tell you that the correct answer is bigender.
Oh.
So that's going to set the benchmark for us. Intersex has 2, transgender has 3, non-binary has 4, gender fluid has 5, and bigender has 6. That's not how my brain parsed the word hygiene. Yeah, looking at it like that, I'm with you as well. Maybe I should have put a hyphen in there, but I think I went with what it said on the source page. So, do you think this is going to be highly accurate, lowly accurate, in the middle?
Oh, I wouldn't like to guess on this one. I think that for a lot of people, I think like the Pride flag and the Pride inclusion flag are very well known these days and very obvious. I think some of these flags, I think a lot of people may struggle with figuring out the number of colours. So I think it's going to be a bit all over the place.
Let's have a look. The people who gave me by gender, the percentage was 9.1%. Very low indeed. If you gave me C by gender, you have just earned yourself 21 points. Very well played indeed. 4% going for non-binary, 50% went for gender fluid, 9% went for bigender, 22% went for intersex, and 13% went for transgender. So that's the benchmark, Huds, 9.1%. It's quite low, which in a way is a good thing, because it gives us some leeway into this first question that we're going to see. But from this point on, you are going to have to be judging the Hive and how well you think they've done. Hive, over to you. The next question, and you will have seen this one before, and remember, 5 options for all of these. Here is question 2. Which of these works of fiction has the highest word count? This one coming from phase number 3. Options are To Kill a Mockingbird, Great Expectations, The Amber Spyglass, The Picture of Dorian Gray, Ulysses. Time. So, this is a bit where we can have a bit of a chat, and your first inclination may not be what you decide to go with based on what you think the answer might be and what the answer actually is. So if you are fairly confident that it's something, and all of the Hive, and you think all the Hive will also think it's that, and then that ends up not being the right answer, that could potentially change your decision. So first question to you, Huds. Do you know, or would you have a punt? What would you punt at?
If I were to have a punt, probably Ulysses. I think it's fairly long.
Do you know the author?
No.
Okay.
Is it Ulysses?
Shall we have a look? The correct answer is... It is Ulysses. So based on that, do you think more than 9.1% or less than 9.1% of the 22 players who answered will have got that right?
I think more than 9.1%.
So you're going to play B?
Yes.
For £5.40, an extra £5.40 for Bristol Pride, let's lock in B. How many people said E, Ulysses? Good decision, 59.1%. It was the plurality of the answers there. 27% of players going for Great Expectations. Each of the other 4 going for getting 4%, which I think is 1 player on each. Yeah, Ulysses 265,222. Great Expectations was next, 183,349. Amber Spyglass 168,000. To Kill a Mockingbird 100,000-ish, and The Picture of Dorian Gray quite short, more of a novella, 78,462. Good start for you. £14.40 is winging its way towards Bristol Pride, but we want to give you a lot more than that. Good decision so far. It does start to get a bit trickier from here. You've got to judge the Hive now between lower than 9.1, between 9.1 and 59.1, or greater than 59.1. It does start to get more difficult. Hive, over to you. Here is the next question. Which of these James Cameron films grossed the most money at the international box office? 5 options, and they are... Titanic, True Lies, Avatar, Terminator 2, Judgment Day, Aliens. Time. Right the way back in phase 1. 23 players have attempted that one. You were shying away from this one at the beginning. Now you've seen all 5 options. What's your thoughts?
Oh, I know what it is. It's Avatar.
You think it's Avatar?
I know it because Endgame took Avengers Endgame took the crown from Avatar, assuming this isn't adjusted. And
It is
then
not
they
adjusted, I
re-released,
should have added.
they re-released Avatar, I believe, in China to then take it back again, and it is currently still #1 in the world in terms of box office takings.
We are of one mind. Avatar is correct. So, you know it, which is great, but how many of the Hive know it? £8.10 for Bristol Pride is riding on how many people you think knew this. Fewer than 9.1, between 9.1 and 59.1, or more than 59.1%.
I'm going to say more because I think it's one of these common things that everyone knows that Avatar was the biggest ever until Endgame. I think more. I think C.
We're going to lock in C. Okay, we're locking in C and we're looking for the answer C. How many people said C, Avatar? Good decision. Good read of the Hive. 82.6%. Very well done in the Hive. 5 points if you did get that right in the Hive, and well done on your knowledge. HUD's reading the Hive perfectly there, and another £8.10 going into your total. You're up to £22.50 going to Bristol Pride so far. Very well played. Of course, it gets more difficult from here. Just to run down the stats for you: Avatar 3.2 billion, Titanic 3.09 billion, Terminator 2 523 million, True Lies 378 million, and Aliens. It's a bit ambiguous, but it's lower than 378 million, 131 to 183 million US dollars. And actually, the only two answers that were populated there were Avatar and Titanic. 17% going for Titanic, and everyone else going for Avatar. Good. You keeping cool, Huds? You keeping cool? Keeping cool?
I should probably turn the aircon on to stay a bit cooler, but yeah, we're good.
£13.50 riding on the next decision that you make. 5 options for you again in the Hive. Answer to the best of your ability. And here is question number 4. Which of these wars broke out earliest? 5 options. Napoleonic Wars, the Wars of the Roses, Crimean War, World War I, American Revolutionary War. Time. So, how's your history? That's neither here nor there, it's how the Hive's history is. But how's your history?
Not great.
Okay.
So, World War One, I believe 1914 to 17, I think? I might have got that
18.
wrong.
14 to 18, yes.
14 to 18. Crimean War is obviously very recent, 2014, assuming it's when Russia took over Crimea. Napoleonic Wars, well, American Revolutionary War, if that's the same as the Civil War, I think it's mid-1800s, off the top of my head. Napoleonic Wars and the War of the Roses, no idea, but I would hazard a guess Napoleonic being the earliest here. That being said, in terms of how the Hive done, I personally think it's the Napoleonic Wars. Let's start there.
Let's find out. It's not.
Okay.
And also,
Cool.
I'm going to just bring you up to speed on some stats here. Wars of the Roses, that was the York and Lancaster back in the Tudor era, pre-Tudor era, 1455 that broke out. The US Revolutionary War, also called the American War of Independence, was 1775. Napoleonic Wars were 1803 when they first started. Crimean Wars were more recent, but not as recent as you think. The Crimean Wars was the one with the charge of the Light Brigade and all that. That was 1853. World War I, the most recent there, 1914. So Wars of the Roses was the earliest war there to break out by quite some way, actually, a good 300 years before the next one on the list. But the question is, how did the 21 players who answered fare on that question?
I'm going to hope that the majority of them are not quite as brushed up on their history like I am, and certainly their wars. I reckon it's going to be B, somewhere between 9.1 and 59.1%.
We're going to play B. So it's quite a wide margin there. I mean, it's quite a big safety net. It's the biggest potential option that's there. But you think more than 9.1%, but fewer than 59.1%.
Yeah.
Okay, we will lock in B, and also B is the answer we are looking for. How many in the Hive said B, the Wars of the Roses? And it's for £13.50 for Bristol Pride. Good decision. Just 2% under C, but but it was the right decision. Very well played. That is another £13.50 going to your total, now up to £36 raised for Bristol Pride. We've already gone through the stats. If you did give me B, the Wars of the Roses, another 10 points has been added to your total. Very well played. But now we've got a real stickler, because we've got that quite low one at 9.1, and then we've got two very close together, B and C, 57 and 59%, then a bit of a gap up to 82.6. One more question. Can you remember what the last question was? The one that we haven't seen yet from phase 4, in fact.
No, because I have terrible short-term memory.
Okay. Let's put you out of your misery. There's £36 going to Bristol Pride tonight. We'd love to add another £27 to that total, but that all hinges on you and how the Hive answer. It is religious figures. You and how the Hive answer this question. Good luck to everyone. 5 options. Here is the final question of the Hive. Which of these religious figures was born most recently? Desmond Tutu, Justin Welby, Tenzin Gyatso, Pope Francis, Yitzhak Yosef. Time. Well, Hudge, you've had a great game. 9 questions out of 12 in the main body of the game, and 3 out of 3 so far in the final phase. Do you know these figures? Do you know who they are?
I know 3 of them.
Okay,
so
talk
Desmond
me through those.
Tutu, I know of, Pope Francis, and Justin Welby.
Okay.
I don't know the other 2.
Tenzin Gyatso is the Dalai Lama.
Okay.
And Yitzhak Yosef is the sort of the lead rabbi of the Jewish faith.
Okay.
So, out of the ones that you know and the ones I've sort of given you some tidbits on there, who do you think was probably born most recently?
My instinct was immediately Justin Welby, because I've seen him on TV. I believe he's the current... Is he like a current Archbishop or something?
Archbishop of Canterbury of the Church of England, that's quite right.
And he's relatively young, at least in comparison to some of the others.
So you'd be saying Justin Welby. If you were playing along at home, that's what you'd be screaming at the screen.
Yes.
Shall we find out?
Yes.
It is Justin Welby, born in 1956. Yitzhak Yosef was born in 1952. Pope Francis next at 1936. Tenzin Gyatso the year before, 1935. And the late Desmond Tutu was born in 1931. So, your instinct was correct. Can you pitch it as to how the Hive played it?
It's going to be one of these ones. I think it's going to be somewhere around the between 40 and 70 mark. The question is, which side of the BCD does it sit on? I would like to think that the vast majority of people will, at least these days, know who Justin Welby is and know that he's relatively young in comparison to some of the others. I'm tempted to go D on that one as a result, because I think most people probably would have got that.
And you're sort of dismissing C as a sort of very narrow gap. The odds of that would have to be remarkably unlucky to go in there, wouldn't it?
I don't think more than 82% will get it, because I think there will be some who maybe either don't know who Justin Welby is if they're not from the UK, or maybe would have seen like Pope Francis or Desmond Tutu and just gone with that because they're very well-known names worldwide. I'm going to go D and hope that a reasonable number of people got it.
Okay, we'll lock in D. We want to see how many people in the Hive gave us B, Justin Welby, for £27. Is it D? Oh, no.
No.
You said 40%. You said 40 to 70, but 40.9%. It was
the wrong end of the scale.
Wrong end of the scale. It was plurality of the Hive. Most of the most popular answer was that one. 40% going there. 27% went for D, Pope Francis. 18% went for Desmond Tutu, 9% for Yitzhak Yosef, and 4% went for Tenzin Gyatso. If you did give me Justin Welby in the Hive, you've got yourself 14 extra points, but Hud's just missing out on that last one. Oh, that's a game. That's where the big money comes from, the hardest option, and just missing out on that one. But still, a terrific effort. And that sort of sits on a par 9 out of 12 and 3 out of 4. So it's sort of symmetrical. And £36 there raised for Bristol Pride. So very well done indeed. Tremendous game. For someone who came in saying, I'm useless at trivia and quizzes, I think you've done really, really well there. And so I will make sure that gets donated to the Tiltify link in due course, possibly in between, or possibly post race. But that will happen. And I encourage, if anyone is in a position to do so and wants to match the winnings, then I do encourage you to do that. 360 points. That will, of course, also go on our internal leaderboard, and you'll get that amount in pennies, which is our internal channel currency. But we also need to find out who's done best who's the best of our worker drones in the Hive this evening. Remember, we haven't announced the games, have we?
We have not. No. Shall we announce what's up for grabs tonight?
Yeah. Do you want to? If we're doing the same for both games, so whatever is won in this game is also for first, second, and third in the next game. Huds, I'll let you do the honours before I reveal the scores.
Oh, well, thank you. So if you come into third place, you will receive a Steam key for Sonic Mania with the Encore DLC. If you come in second, you'll receive a Steam key for Sonic Generations, fantastic modern 3D game. And if you win, you will get, when it's released on Thursday, a Steam key for the new Sonic Origins game on Steam.
So, 3 Sonic games, and the top prize for this was Sonic Origins. And I will stress that these prizes are being replicated in the Abyss as well, which is the next game. We may limit it to 1 prize per person, so if you're in the top 3 in both games, then we'll just sort of delegate down the list. And we need to come up with another prize for the actual winner of the Abyss if we get one, because the Abyss has got a top leaderboard, but also a hot seat winner as well, and we'll get to that in a minute. But those are the prizes that are up for grabs. Let's take a look at the leaderboard and the final scores for our worker drones. And there's a few people getting 1 and 2. There's a couple of 3s coming in. We get towards the top 10. There's a 4 there from Jurs, a 3, and there are our top 3. In fact, the top 4 players all picking up the same 4 questions in the final round, but it's Lupine in third with 99, it's Sotley in second with 101, and our champion and gold medalist actually you don't get medals for the Hive, but you do get pennies and prizes tonight, 125 points. It is Oni winning Sonic Origins, which releases on Thursday. It's Sotley picking up Sonic Generations, and Lupine picking up Sonic Mania with Encore DLC. Well played to you 3. Either myself or Huds will be in touch with you in due course to arrange those Steam keys for you. Oh, lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. And, of course, £36 going to Bristol Pride. That will come from me. That will be my donation to the charity. And I'd say anyone who is in a position to and wants to match that, then I would encourage you strongly to do that. But maybe wait till we've done the race. Come and put some extra money. Double or quits on who's going to win in the race or something like that. Huds, it's been an absolute pleasure having you here playing the Hive. Have you enjoyed it?
I've loved it. It's a great game. This is so much fun.
It's. I have to say, it is my favourite. I think it's my most recent big format. We played it a lot. I said it last time we played it. I said, this is my best game. I have spoken, don't at me. Yeah, and it's always fun because it's just great to have, a bit of chat with people and have the massively multiplayer element as well. So it feels like the perfect amalgamation of sort of what a Twitch game should and could be. So I'm glad you enjoyed it, and very, very well played on a super game there. £36 going to Bristol Pride, and of course the space on the leaderboard. But don't go away, because after this very short break, we are going to be playing the Abyss, which is all massively multiplayer, and it's a self-running sort of game. So we can't get we might go off on a tangent, but every game is your best game, says G-Isis. Thank you very much. We might go off on a tangent, but we're also going to be reading questions. It's a good fun game. More prizes to be won, as well as a mystery prize, which we'll discuss at some point for the winner of the Abyss, if we get one, because it is a game that could potentially not have any winners. Again, very many thanks to Huds and to Panda, who have written the trivia for this one. I had no part in it. I just sort of proofed them and was an extra pair of eyes on them. Huds is going to be staying here with me during the break, so That'll be nice. We're going to mute though, so hopefully we won't have too much chatter on stream. We'll find out. Hopefully we won't have any hot mics. So give us about 5 minutes just to get the Abyss set up, and we'll be right back with even more trivia action. And this is where the video game Sonic trivia really kicks in. So if you've come along for some video game trivia, you definitely want to stick around. Congratulations again to Huds and to Oni at Sotley and Lupine, and I'll see you in a few minutes' time. And don't go away, because after this very short break, we will be playing the Abyss Sonic and video game themed trivia all the way. More prizes to be won, and that's before we go off to raid over to Huds' channel for some classic Sonic trilogy action. You'd be mad to miss it. If you want some extra bonus pennies, type in Sonic Pride 65 right now to get some bonus pennies, and go stretch your legs, get yourself another drink, and we will be back very soon. Don't touch that dial. The Abyss is after this very short break. Welcome to part 2 of our Sonic special game night with me, Royal Flush, and my friend Hud601. Welcome back, Huds. Cool.
Oops, by unmute. Hello, everyone.
There we go. Thought it was going to be me who was going to do that tonight. Samster, welcome to the stream as well. Great to have you here, buddy. Hope you're well. So Huds and I have just been having a little chat about an extra prize, and we're going to stick with our 1 prize per person rule tonight, and we're going to give the same 3 prizes that we described before to the top 3 players who haven't already won a prize and don't win the main game. That prize this evening, and then I'm going to provide a special bonus prize if anybody does win in the Abyss itself. It is possible for this game to finish without winners, so there's a very special mystery prize that you're going to get if you do survive the Abyss, and that is perfect, Huds. Huds has just sent me the very special mystery prize. Well, a link to. So, this is the Abyss. It's sort of a crossword trivia style game. There's 5 packs of 10 questions for a total of 50, 40 in the opening round, and then 10 in the final. The objective is to get into the Abyss Centre, the Abyss Arena we call it here, and stay in there as long as possible. The more questions you get right, the more chance you have of getting into the Abyss Arena, and whoever is in the Abyss Arena after 40 questions will progress to the Abyss Final. You can still win a prize even if you're in the wings, so the final game is only for the big mystery star prize, but the points that you have in the wings, they're going to form the top 3. These 5 packs of 10 questions have been curated by Huds and Panda, to both of whom I'm very grateful, and they are large. Hello, Ted Cam. Oh, Loaf Cat. Hello, cat. That is a cat. Ted Cat. He's a sweet boy. And these are the ones that are very video game Sonic heavy. And because it's sort of crossword based, you get the number of letters in the answer as a prompt, but for that reason, your spelling must be, exact in this game. You must get your spelling absolutely dead on. It's also a game you can't join halfway through, so you must join this lobby right at the start if you want to take part. Very important that you do that. Just type in the code and you'll be brought into the game, and the rest of the rules will be explained as we go. So, if you would like to play the Abyss for a chance to win some fabulous prizes, type in the code YJKN, and you'll see your avatar appear on the left or right hand side as and when you have been accepted. A reminder, very Sonic video game heavy, so if that's your bag, do come and join the game. Room for 50 people, I think, in this game. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. I think it's 20, it's either 50 or 52. I can't remember. Anyway, how's your loaf doing, Huds? How's your loaf doing?
Oh, he's very good. He's very sad because his chair is unfortunately gone for him now, so he's got nothing comfortable to sleep on.
He
does. He's actually got loads of comfortable things.
Sleeping on you.
He's staying cool in here with me. He's been very hot the last couple of days, haven't you?
He's a hot puss. Is he a house cat?
He is a house cat, yes. He goes out on the balcony quite often. We take him for walks, but he really hates the outdoors.
Oh.
Yeah, he's quite happy being indoors.
So we've got 2 cats, Penny and Ozzy, and they were both house cats for the first, Penny for the first 5 or so years, Ozzy for the first 3, and then we started letting them go outside, and they've sort of never looked back. They still do come back, but I recognise the potential dangers with sort of letting them outside and stuff. One does get soaked. So I know this because our dog got into the main 60-mile-an-hour road today. Actually, it might drop down to a 30, but people treat it like a 60. Yes, he's discovered he can jump over the wall in our garden, and from there it's easy to jump into the pavement, or onto the pavement, and therefore the road. So yeah, that was what we were dealing with this afternoon, and then he ate half a pizza, so at some point he's going to be sick, I'm sure. Poor Dexter, silly dog. Anyway. Aww. There we go. So this is the Abyss, YJK, and I'll give you another 30 seconds to come join, and then the game will begin. I'm going to be reading the questions that have been provided by Huds and Panda, and Huds is going to be my pointless friend, providing us with some trivia. to go with them if it applies, give you a little bit more extra information. As I said at the start, this game does sort of fully auto-run. Once I press the magic go button, it will just run through. 15 seconds for each question. A reminder, you must whisper to the bot and spelling must be exact. So do use the crossword clues to help you. If you think it could be this, could be that, use the crossword clues to push you towards the right one. The 5 categories that we'll see over the course of the game, they won't be repeated. So every 5 you'll get a different category. So every block of 5, there might be a random order each time, but there'll be different categories in every block of 5 questions. We'll get through the first 8, and then we'll have 9 players in the Abyss Arena, and 10 questions in the final, and hopefully we will have 1 player left standing. Thing of note in this game, there will be people brought into the middle 9 chambers there, and they can drop out. Even if you drop out, you're still in the game. Yes, only making a very good point there. The way you get into the Abyss Arena, it takes... think of the points you've got in the last 5 questions. You don't have to worry about this. Is just how the internal logic of the game works. The last 5 questions you've answered, think of them as lottery tickets. So if you've got 4 out of 5 of the last 5 questions correct, then you are give 4 tickets into the draw. As soon as a player drops into the Abyss, they are immediately replaced. All of the tickets are put into a big lottery machine, and 1 is drawn out. So if you've got more questions right out of the last 5, you've got more chance of getting into the centre. The centre is where you want to be, because that is how you can potentially win our big star prize tonight. So, I think that is enough time. I think we should begin our game. For a further clarity on the rules, here are... That is to say all 5 categories will appear before they repeat. Yes, correct score. Here's the rules of the Abyss. Oh, perfect. We've got everyone on one side perfectly. Lovely. So, players attempt to answer up to 40 questions by whispering the answers to Persephone's Twitch bot. Use the crossword clues to assist you as spelling matters. After the 5th question, 9 players will be selected to join the Abyss Arena. Worth noting, for the first 5 questions, no one will be in the Abyss Arena, but as I mentioned, players who perform better are given a higher chance. If players in the Abyss Arena answer a question incorrectly or abstain, they lose a life and drop a level. After the 3rd incorrect answer or abstention, they drop into the Abyss and are out of the game. Player from the wings will be selected to replace them with players who performed better on the previous 5 questions, as mentioned, given a higher chance. Arena players earn an extra life up to a maximum of 3 after successfully answering 5 consecutive questions. And after question 40, the players in the Abyss Arena progress to the final. But as I mentioned, the game prizes, the 3 game prizes, are going out to the top 3 scoring players in the wings who haven't already won a prize tonight. And the star prize is reserved for anybody who can survive the Abyss. We've seen it many times before where the Abyss takes everybody. It is very possible. And remember, if you do drop out after the first sort of 7 questions out of the Abyss Arena, keep answering, because you could get a second chance saloon. It's very possible in this game. So using the crossword clues to help you, good luck. Thank you again to Huds and Panda for providing trivia, and to Huds for providing us with trivia this evening. Let's play the Abyss. And I don't have to press any buttons now for the next 25 minutes or so. I love it. Here we go. Category is movies. This film has sequels named Apocalypse, Extinction, Afterlife, and others. 8 and 4. Resident Evil. I should add these are all video game movies. Well done if you got that one. Resident Evil was the answer. Next question. Category is Sonic the Hedgehog. A pun on a unit of measurement, the real name of Sonic's fox sidekick. 5, 6, or 5? The real name. Miles per hour. Huds, tell us more.
Yep, it's a pun on miles per hour. Obviously, Sonic is the speedy boy.
Not Tails, notably. General video games. Island south of Australia where a mischievous bandicoot lives. 5, 7, or 5? Wumpa Islands. Just David and Sotley getting that one right. Wumpa or Wumpa Islands. Huds.
Yep, it's Crash Bandicoot. Due to the behind-the-character camera framing, the game was actually codenamed Sonic's Ass Game during development.
Nice. Gaming hardware is category 4. After the original Xbox and Xbox 360, this was the next generation of Microsoft's console. 4.3 or 4.1? Xbox One was the answer. Huds.
Yep, known as Project Scarlet during its development, the Series X known as Anaconda, and the Series S known as Lockhart.
And the final category, blank and blank. Sonic and blank. 1994 Genesis platformer, 8 letters. It is, of course, Knuckles. Huds.
Yeah, the only game cartridge for the Genesis with patented lock-on technology.
So, we're going to get some players into the Abyss Arena. Samster with 4 has joined the game. It's Otley 5 for 5 into the Abyss Arena as well. Very well played. Ben in Sweden getting 4. You're joining the centre. Welcome to the game. Lupine also with 4. Welcome to the game. AB Me getting 3, joining the game. Welcome. Mindez with 3. Welcome on into the Abyss Arena. Shapes joining us with 2. Still getting in. Chances are high. David, another delegate with 5, so both 5-pointers are into the Abyss Arena, and Maxio joining us with 3. Nata, welcome to the stream. Game continues as normal. Now we've got some focus players. Back to Sonic the Hedgehog, a type of gemstone synonymous with Sonic games. 7 or 8. Emerald or Emeralds is what we're after there. AB, me and Maxio losing a life. Huds.
Yeah, first appeared in Sonic the Hedgehog 16-bit for the Genesis. The turquoise gem, however, was added in Sonic 2.
Thank you very much. Gaming hardware. The Lynx was a handheld game console released by what company? 5 letters. All of our arena players have locked in. Atari was the answer. AB, me and Maxio losing another life. Huds.
Atari, better known for releasing the first video game ever most people consider Pong.
Category is blank to blank. Hit and blank. 2004 Simpsons game subtitle. 3 letters. Hit and run. Shapes losing a life there. Huds.
Yeah, paradoxical take on Grand Theft Auto 3, praised for its graphics but criticised for its bugs.
Video games is the next category more generally. During development stage, the original colour of Sony's fire-breathing dragon. 5 letters. It was green. Maxio, you've dropped into the abyss and we're out the game, but thank you for playing. Going to be replaced by Zeus. Welcome to the game. Huds, on that question quickly.
Yeah, Spyro's original name was actually Pete, but because of similarities to Disney's Pete's Dragon, it was changed to Pyro and then Spyro.
Category is movies. Angelina Jolie played as this Tomb Raider. 4, 5 or 5? Lara Croft. No drama in the arena. Huds.
It was actually rebooted in 2018 as a new Tomb Raider film, the lead role taken on by Alicia Vikander.
Sticking with movies as we move to the next set of 5. He starred as Luigi in the 1993 Super Mario Bros. Movie 4, 9 or 9. Whoa, John Leguizamo. AB me, you've dropped into the abyss and you're out the game, but thank you for playing. You are going to be replaced by Reese. Welcome to the game. Huds, give us something about that.
Yeah, the film widely considered to be the worst video game adaptation of all time, only 28% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Gaming hardware is next. Packaged with Duck Hunt, this was the English name of the NES light gun. 6 or 8-6. 29 questions now remain. The Zapper was the answer. Ben and Shapes, you've dropped into the abyss and are out the game, but thank you for playing. Replaced by Tadaru on the orange podium. Welcome to the game. And G. Eisen's on the red. Huds, tell us about the Zapper.
Yeah, still very popular to this day, Duck Hunt. It's definitely got some good memories for people.
Sonic the Hedgehog is a category. Dr. Robotnik's Puyo Puyo Machine. 4-4 or 4-4-7? It's the Mean Bean or the Mean Bean Machine. It's something you've dropped into the abyss and you're out the game, but thank you for playing. You're going to be replaced by Shapes. Out one door and in another. Welcome back. Tell us about the Mean Bean Machine, Huds.
Yeah, it actually makes a cameo in the Sonic 2 movie as a coffee shop.
Next category is video games. Crime Sim sequel that became the fastest selling video game in history. 5-5-4-1 or 3-1? Grand Theft Auto 5 or GTA 5 or GTA V. Huds, tell us more.
Yeah, earned $800 million in its first day and $1 billion in its first 3 days. As of April 2018, it's now crossed $6 billion earned.
Bloody Nora. Blank and Blank. Blank and Rocky. 9293 scrolling shooter game with 5 letters. That's more than some small countries. GDP. That's crackers. Pocky was the answer. Giesent and David, you've dropped into the abyss and are out the game, but thank you for playing. You're going to be replaced by Oni. Welcome into the Abyss Arena. And it's Otley, welcome back to the Abyss Arena. Huds, tell us more about Rocky and Pocky.
No idea, never heard of that one, but sounds fun.
On we go, Blank and Blank as we get to the next 5. Toe Jam and Blank, 91 Genesis game with 4 letters. Toe Jam and Earl is what we're after. It's Otley losing life, Huds.
Toe Jam and Earl, they're alien rappers who've crash landed on Earth and attempt to escape the planet by collecting pieces of their junked spacecraft.
Very nice. Lupine 1 earning themselves an extra life there. You're back up to the top flight. Here's the next question. Is video games a military science fiction franchise featuring Master Chief and Cortana? 4 letters. It is, of course, Halo, everyone who answered getting that one right. Huds?
Yeah, Microsoft's virtual assistants in Windows was actually named after the character from the Halo series.
Mendez, you've earned yourself an extra life. Very well played. You back up to the middle flight. Give yourself a little bit more breathing room as we go to the next question. Approaching the halfway mark now. Category is movies. This Pokemon starred as a detective in a 2019 flick. 7 letters. Oh, Kolo going wrong on that one. The only one to do so. Huds, tell us more about Pikachu.
Yeah, Pokemon Yellow came out for the Game Boy Color in 1998 in Japan and 1999 in North America, and Pikachu actually sits outside the Pokeball and follows you around the game.
Category is gaming hardware. The NES had this name in the Japanese region, 7 or 6-8. Google Cheese, welcome to the stream. Unfortunately, you are just a bit late for the game, I'm afraid. But stick around, more coming up. We've got some casualties. Shapes and Zeus, you've dropped into the abyss and you're out the game. The answer was Famicom. Thank you for playing. You're going to be replaced by brand new Halo on green. Or lime, I should say. And AB Me on blue. Huds, tell us more.
Yeah, the different systems between Japan and the rest of the world not only had different colour schemes, but a different way of loading the cartridges in as well.
Next category is Sonic the Hedgehog. Famous pop singer who composed music for Sonic 3, 7 or 7? I know a little bit about this one, but it's subtly you've dropped into the abyss and you're out of the game, but thank you for playing. Michael Jackson was the answer. Huds, tell us more.
Yeah, in a recent interview, Brad Buxer actually confirmed that the song Stranger in Moscow was actually derived from the Sonic 3 credits theme, not the other way around.
Samster earning themselves an extra life back up to the top flight. Cowboy Knuckles, welcome to the game. CBK, you are in the Abyss Arena. Here's your next question. Video games broadly, the creator of Mario, 7, 8 or 8? That's first name, surname or just surname, to clarify. How'd you say that, Huds? Shigeru Miyamoto?
Shigeru Miyamoto, yes. Miyamoto-san actually created The Legend of Zelda, Donkey Kong, Star Fox, and Pikmin as well.
Very nice. Blank and Blank, Battletoads and Blank, 1993 beat 'em up 6 and 6. Battletoads and Double Dragon. Mendez and ABME have dropped into the abyss and you're out of the game, but thank you for playing. You're going to be replaced by Zanon. Welcome on in. Great to have you. And Curse Toucan, you're in the Abyss Arena. Huds, tell us more about Double Dragon.
I can tell you more about Battletoads, widely considered to be one of the most difficult games ever made.
Here we go. Movies. This movie involves Marines fighting demonic creatures on Mars, having travelled via a wormhole portal, the Ark. 4 letters. Of course, Doom. CBK, you've dropped into the abyss and you're out the game, but thank you for playing. Lupine currently leading the wings on 21 at the moment, and Zeus is back in for a second chance. Tell us more about Doom, Huds.
Yeah, Doom, widely considered the benchmark for working out what hardware can do. Most questions people ask, can it play Doom?
Sonic the Hedgehog is next, voiced by Idris Elba, the species of Sonic's enemy turned friend. 7 letters. He's an echidna. Lots of people losing life, maybe not reading the question and going for Knuckles. Huds, tell us more.
Yeah, Idris actually said that he based the voice of Knuckles on his character from the Thor films, Heimdall.
Gaming hardware is next. The PlayStation controller features buttons with a cross, square, circle and what other shape with 8 letters. I will add that there is a gradient of difficulty amongst these questions. Some are easy, some are medium, some are a bit hard. The hardest questions are saved for the final. It's a triangle, Xanon losing a life in the arena. Huds?
Yeah, most people say it's an X, but it is actually officially a cross, because in Japan, a cross is seen as a no and a circle is seen as a yes.
Here we go. Sonic the Hedgehog, a floating island powered by the Master Emerald, 5 or 5-6. Lupine still with the lead at 22. 3 players on 21 in the wings. Angel Island. Samson, you've dropped into the abyss and you're out of the game, but thank you for playing. You're going to be replaced by Danger Dimples. Welcome into the Abyss Arena. Huds, tell us about Angel Island. You know a thing or two.
Angel Island first appeared in Sonic 3 as part of Sonic 3 and Knuckles. You'll be seeing it later.
Mario and Blank. Mario RPG series, 5 letters. In the category Blank and Blank. Curse Tuka with the answer in the nick of time. Mario and Luigi. Huds?
Yeah, Luigi actually first appeared in the 1983 Game & Watch game Mario Bros.
Video games more broadly, an indie hit where players control Zagreus, the Prince of the Underworld. 5 letters. I can't remember this one. Oh, it's Hades. Curse Toucan, you've dropped into the abyss and you're out of the game, but thank you for playing. You're going to be replaced by Pirate Pygmy, welcome to the game. Huds, tell us about Hades.
Yeah, received universal acclaim on its release. It won Game of the Year at the 12th Game Developer Choice Awards.
Category is gaming hardware. This was the final Sega console released outside Japan. A couple of people looking to get an extra life in the Abyss Arena here. At least 4 I can count, I think. If not 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a Dreamcast. Danger Dimples losing a life there. We have got some extra lives to go out here. Lupine, Omi, and Zeusless, you've got an extra life. You're all back up to the top flight. Huds, tell us about the Dreamcast.
Yeah, the Dreamcast, Sega's last hardware console, unfortunately. It was probably just a little bit ahead of its time.
Movies. Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg were the lead actors in this 2022 action-adventure film. 9 letters. It's Uncharted. Danger and Reese, you've dropped into the abyss and you're out of the game, but thank you for playing. You're going to be replaced by Odd Garrett coming in on the cyan podium. And Curse 2 can back in on the white one. Uncharted, Huds?
Shipped over 41 million units, made by Naughty Dog, also known for making Crash Bandicoot.
Gaming hardware is next. Outside the US, the 4 main buttons on the SNES controller were red, blue, green, and what other colour with 6 letters? Would have been a crying shame if you'd not got that, Xanon, being on the yellow podium, Huds.
So, Nintendo's first shot at a 16-bit console. In South Korea, it's known as the Super Comboy.
We're into the final quarter. The category is video games. Game in which you place bricks in a row to create lines that disappear. 6 letters. Last 9 questions. You want to stay in the Abyss Arena if you want a chance in the final. Now is a good time to get in and not a great time to not have any lives left. No drama there. Just Paulus to getting that one wrong. The wings. The answer is Tetris. Huds?
Yeah, it's currently the second largest video game franchise in history. It's sold 495 million combined sales.
Category is Sonic the Hedgehog, the favoured weapon of Sonic's self-proclaimed girlfriend. 6 or 4-4. 8 questions left. Hammer, mallet, or pico pico would have sufficed there. Tadaro, you've dropped into the abyss and you're out of the game. You're going to be replaced by Paulister. Welcome back in. Huds, tell us about Amy's hammer.
Yeah, so it's based on a popular Japanese children's toy. Pico Pico is actually onomatopoeia for the chirping sound it makes when struck.
Category is blank and blank. Ratchet and Blank. Action platformer series with 5 letters. Reminder that spelling does matter. I can never remember if it's Clank or Crank. Xanon, you dropped into the abyss and you're out of the game, but thank you for playing. You're going to be replaced by Zephyr. Good time to get in with 7 questions to go. Very quickly, Huds.
First appeared in 2002 on the PlayStation 2.
Category is movies. Jim Carrey started this Doctor in Sonic the Hedgehog. 8 or 6? Because it was insisted that we give the option for the 6. Even though I will go to my grave saying it is Robotnik. Hey, a perfect question, Huds.
Yeah, Jim Carrey stated that Sonic 2 will be his last acting role, but it remains to be seen if they'll get him back.
Oni and Pyro earning an extra life back up to the top flight. Good position to be in with 5 questions to go before the final. Category is video games. This controversial console controller unveiled at E3 2005 resembled this flying toy. 9 letters. It's a boomerang, Huds. Lots of lives being lost but no eliminations.
Yeah, Sony later said of the Boomerang controller, quote, "It was very clearly designed as a design concept and was never intended to be the final controller despite what everybody said about it." I think they're lying.
Brand new Halo earning an extra life back up to the top flight. Last 4 questions. Gaming hardware. This console was the first to be played in space in 1993. 7 or 8 7. It was the Game Boy or the Nintendo Game Boy. Again, lives lost. No eliminations, Huds.
Yeah, Game Boy, probably one of the most popular consoles of all time. It was designed around the idea of how good a console can you make with the cheapest hardware.
Blank and Blank. Blank and Conquer. PC RTS series with 7 letters. Command and Conquer. Just a couple of wrong answers there. No one in the Abyss Arena. We've got a lot of people on their last life with 2 questions to go. Best of luck. Movies. Pyramid Head appeared in a 2006 movie in this town. 6 and 4. Tell us about Command and Conquer, Huds. I forgot to go to you.
That's fine. Command & Conquer, one of the first video games to actually use a link cable between 2 PlayStations to play on separate consoles at the same time, head-to-head.
With 2 questions to go, this is probably a better way of doing it. Silent Hill was the answer. Odd Garrett, Paulister, Zeph, and Pyro Pygmy have dropped into the Abyss and you're out of the game. But thank you for playing. Reese Wynn joining us, as is Maxio, as is AB Me. This is a good time to get into the centre. And finally, Samster. Tell us about Silent Hill, Huds.
Yeah, Silent Hill, the last installment that we saw was one named PT, which stands for Playable Teaser, unfortunately taken down after Hideo Kojima left Konami.
Sonic the Hedgehog, last but 1 question. The number of rings required to receive an extra life. 3, 7 or 3. And welcome Pyro to the stream. I know you've been here a while, but it's the first time you've chatted. 100, a perfect question. That might even be the last question, so a good time to hang on in the arena or get a last chance saloon. And it is the end of the game. I can never remember if it's off by 1 on the question count. Bad luck to Paulister, Zeph, Pyro and Odd Garrett dropping into the abyss on the last but 1 question. But we have got our 9 finalists. And Huds, that was a beautiful back and forth I think we had there. That's why I like this game. I can just sit back and chill, just do some reading, have a bit of a chat with me mate. And we have got our 9 finalists. Reese Wynn on 33, Brand New Halo on 33, Maxio on 21, Lupine on 36, Kurz Tukan on 29, AB Me on 23, Oni on 33, Zeus on 31, Samster on 33. I'm going to overrule our 1 prize per person rule, Huds, if that's okay. Just based on the fact that they're very different prizes. And so it's a special prize which can be an additional prize. So if you win, if you're in the top 3, and it still applies, you can't win a prize in both the Hive and the Abyss. So the top 3 in the Abyss will get the games prizes. And if anyone survives in the Abyss Arena, any of the 9 players we've got standing there, they will get the bonus special super secret prize, in addition to any other prizes that they may win. I'm happy to honour that if you are as well.
Yep, absolutely.
Good stuff. So in the wings, Lupine currently has the lead with 36, just a point ahead of David on 35. Brand New Halo and Oni and Reese and Samster are all on 33. But we've got 10 more questions to go. Only the 9 players in the final can potentially win the big special bonus prize and win the Abyss outright, but still lots of chances for prizes to be won out in the wings. But we've got the final to get through first. 10 more questions and they're a little bit trickier. Here are the rules. So the 9 finalists have had their lives refreshed, but further extra lives will not be awarded in the final. Up to 10 questions will be displayed. Whisper your answers to Persephone's Twitch bot. If arena players drop into the Abyss, they are permanently out of the game and will not be replaced. The winner is the last player standing, and if after 10 questions no winner has emerged, the winner will be the player with the most lives left, i.e. the highest up their podium, and in the event of a tie, the player with the highest score will be the winner. So the categories are going to be the same, except they will come at you in a random order. It will not necessarily be a nice clean 5 and 5. So you might have blank and blank followed immediately by blank and blank. And these questions are deliberately designed to be slightly harder than the ones you've already seen, but the categories will persist. Of course, all of your points that you've got, we will convert into our channel currency, which is pennies, and they are going to be worth 5 pennies for every point that you have. So times your score by 5, and that penny total will be added to the database, which is then used at the end of season prize draw. Time for the final. Good luck to everybody in the wings and everyone in the arena. Let's play the Abyss. Question number 1. Starting with movies. Sean Connery was offered this role in the Mortal Kombat films, declining and allowing Chris Lambert the position. 6 letters. Raiden was the answer. Lord Raiden. Huds?
Yeah, it was originally based on an idea that Ed Boon and John Tobias had of making a video game starring Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Who ended up in Street Fighter. Blank and Blank. Blank and Lynch. Eidos third-person shooter series. 4 letters. It's Kane with a K. Maxio and AB Me losing life. Terrible, terrible game. Huds, tell us something else about it.
Eidos were originally bought by Square Enix and recently sold in May to Embracer Group for just $300 million.
That all. Video games. The codename of Microsoft's 9th generation of video game consoles, 8 or 7. It's Scarlet. A few casualties. Maxio and ABME have dropped into the Abyss and you're out the game. Thank you for playing. Huds?
Yeah, so I actually revealed this one earlier. The codename for the 9th generation was Scarlet, the high end known as Anaconda, the low end known as Lockhart.
Sonic the Hedgehog is the next category. Sonic's home planet in popular 90s cartoon Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. 6 letters. I used to watch this when I went to my dad's on a Sunday. I can remember the theme tune and that's about it. And one joke, which I'll tell you later on. Mobius was the answer. Samson, you've dropped into the Abyss and you're out of the game, but thank you for playing. Huds, sorry, Mobius.
Right, Mobius. Rarely mentioned anymore, but if you're interested, the currency on the planet Mobius is Mobiums.
The video games is the next category. A breed of ghost that lurks the pyramid of Sandopolis. 7 letters. Hyudoro and Reese and Toucan, you've dropped into the Abyss and you're out of the game, but thank you for playing. Huds, tell us more.
Yeah, Hyodoro's name is actually, again, a Japanese onomatopoeia for the sound a ghost would make.
Category is movies. The lead in the Hitman movies is this number Agent. It is a number we are after with 2 digits in it. Halfway through, potentially the final. We could end early. It's 47. Brand new Haley, you've dropped into the Abyss and you're out of the game. Huds, over to you.
Yeah, the character actually takes its name from being the 47th clone created as part of an experiment funded by various wealthy criminals. 3
players left in the centre. Gaming hardware. This portable console released by Sega was designed as a portable Genesis. 5 letters. All 3 correct. Nomad is the answer, Huds.
Yeah, the Nomad, not very well known. Most people will, however, remember the Game Gear.
I remember that, didn't have one. Blank and Blank. Joe and Blank, 1991 platformer, also known as Caveman Ninja. 3 letters. Oh, again, all 3 right. It's Mac. Joe and Mac. Huds, to you.
Yeah, later adapted for the Super NES, the Mega Drive and Genesis, the Nintendo Entertainment System, the Game Boy, the Amiga, the Zebo, the Nintendo Switch, and the PC. 2
questions left. Sonic the Hedgehog, born of the Solaris Project, a dark creature, 8 or 834. Nephiles or Nephiles the Dark. Only have dropped into the Abyss and you're out of the game, but thank you for playing. It's Lupine and Zeus. Huds, over to you with 1 question left.
Yeah, first appeared in Sonic the Hedgehog 2006. Spoiler alert, he kills Sonic.
Gaming hardware. The DualSense is the name brand controller for what console? 3 or 11.1 or 11.4? It's coming down to this one between Lupine and Zeus. Both are correct. It's the PS5. Huds, over to you.
Yeah, for the PS3 era, the console that was launched with the system was known as 6-Axis because Sony was still in the middle of a lawsuit due to patent infringement with a company named Immersion who make the Rumble feature.
There we go. And that is the end of the quiz. And the winner with a score of 44 down to tie. Zeus was ahead for a lot of that, but just losing that life on question number 9, unfortunately. Do not win. You survived the abyss, but Lupine is the winner of the game. 44 and 1 life left. It's been a while since we've seen 50 questions in the abyss. We normally get through 5 or 6 in the final, but we got through all 50 today, so very well played to Lupine. We do get to reveal the super special bonus prize, and the top 3, Lupine, David and Oni. David didn't win a prize earlier on. Who won the prizes earlier on? It was Sotley, Lupine and Oni, I think. So Lupine and Oni, you are exempt from winning an extra prize, so Lupine, you can have your centre prize. David is going to win a copy of Sonic Origins. Is that the one that's out on Thursday? Yes?
Yes.
Oh, yes. No, because David, you came 4th last time. You just missed out. So David gets the Sonic Origins. Zeus in 2nd place gets the Sonic Generations collection. And we've got a tie between Brand New Halo and Reese win Sonic Mania with Encore DLC. Can we stretch to an extra copy?
We can stretch to an extra copy.
Stretch to an extra copy, 37 points, and you get a copy of Sonic Mania with Encore DLC each. So Brand New Halo and Reese was Sonic Mania. Zeus getting Sonic Generations, David getting Sonic Origins, and of those in addition to the 3 prizes that were given out earlier on. Plus, might have come out of streaming hiatus to play that on Thursday. As long as you give us a little plug, David. That's all. Well, you do you. You come out of hiatus. You don't have to give us a plug at all. But that'd be lovely, and enjoy. And our super special secret prize, and this is where my graphics card sharts itself and dies. So I'm just going to be a bit careful about how I do this. How do I do this? I don't want to click and drag, because last time I clicked and drag, everything went shitty. I'm just going to change the monitor that I'm capturing. Lupine, you did win something earlier on. What was it, Sonic? Were you 3rd earlier, Lupine? I think it Sotley was 2nd and Oni was 1st. So you've already got the copy of Sonic Generations. Let's see if this works. Oh, Christ, which monitor is it? I think it's that one. There we go. That, Oni, ignore the price. Shit. I should have made it. Go away, price. Ignore the price. Piss. Oh, God, no. I've got to the control room.
Professional streamer, TM.
Professional. Let's just do that weird thing there. There we go. Oh, Christ. There we go. Now the prize can't be seen. That, Lupine, is your mystery grand prize. It is a Green Hill Zone Sonic the Hedgehog mug. Special grand prize for winning the Abyss. Flawlessly done with the Persephone's Chair logo just sitting in the background and staring at everybody. You've already got one of those, David. Good stuff. So that is your super special secret prize, Lupine. We'll get that shipped out to you in due course. Obviously, we'll need relevant address details if you have to share with either myself or Huds. Probably me, because I think that's my jurisdiction, so I'll get that sent out to you. And I will probably get one for myself while I'm at it, because that is a glorious idea. What a prize and a flawless to place. Thank you very much, Tata. I thought so. We're just trying to hide the price of it. That's sort of... No...
I'm too fair. If anyone wants to know, they can just go and find it themselves, can't they?
They can. That was the website it's on. It's on the official Sega store. So, Lupine, we'll get that shipped out to you in due course. Very, very well done on winning this. 44 out of 50 is a pretty pog AF score, so very well done. And to all our other prize winners, of course, pennies will be coming your way. I can't remember if there's medals in the Abyss. I don't think there is. I think there's just winners. Zeus, commiserations, but you do get your Sonic Generations, and that Steam code will be coming to you. So that is 7 games we've given away, plus a very fancy mug to our new friends and our wonderful quizzing competitors tonight, and we'll get those out to you in the next few days. I think that I would call that a success, Huds.
I think that's a fantastic success. It's been a wonderful evening, and it's not yet over.
Not over yet. Has there been any movement on the Tiltify? We should probably give that another plug.
None at the moment, but I'm sure we can sort that out when we come over and raid, because I'll have all the messages in the chats. But yeah, if you do want to donate, if you want to match the winnings from earlier, for example, pride.hud601.co.uk, you can make your donations there. Again, if you're able to. If you're not, it's 100% fine. Please don't put yourselves in any kind of financial jeopardy to donate, but any little that you can obviously helps.
Fantastic. So we're going to... Huds, I'm going to let you go and prep your stream and get yourself live so that we can raid over to you in a minute. I'm just going to do post-stream what's coming up stuff on this channel, and then we'll raid over to you ready for our race in a few minutes' time. I'm sure there'll be much banter and things to be said before that. I'm going to need to get another bottle as well because I'm dry. I'm going to definitely need that.
Yep, I'll see you over on my stream in a bit. Bye, everyone.
Hud, see you in a while. Thank you so much for joining us. Hud601 right there. Great guy, and always a pleasure to have him with us. Did a sterling job in the Hive earlier on, raising £36 for Bristol Pride, and doing a great job of being co-host there, finding facts on the fly. Big shout out as well to Huds in his absence, who's just gone, and to Panda, who I have seen kicking about in the stream. Thank you so much for the video game questions there. Really nicely themed pack for a very special evening. I do hope that you enjoyed them. Very, very grateful to Huds and to Panda for curating them and bringing them all together. Very well done to all our prize winners as well. We are going to raid into Huds in just a moment for our classic Sonic Trilogy race. My God in heaven, I'm so out of practice, it's not even funny. But before we do that, just a quick word on what is coming up later in the week. If you are here for the first time, welcome. It's lovely to have you. We do stream trivia here at Game Night 3 nights a week, Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays at 8 PM GMT. We are midway through Season 7, and what we've got coming up on Tuesday, we've got Only Connectors written by Shapes, The Pyramid by Apodo, another Face-Off, which is the ongoing tournament from this season, and Google That as written by Oni, one of our winners earlier on. On Thursday, we've got Set Game and Spotlight and Face Off as well. Spotlight is more niche trivia. Really good fun and a great gamut of writers on that. Next Saturday, which is sort of my headline stream on Saturday nights, Season 7, Episode 29, we've got, not sure what the warm-up game is going to be. It's probably not going to be the answer. No, I do. It's Plinko. Plinko the Quiz by Natter. We've then got The Abyss. So if you've enjoyed The Abyss this evening, we've got another pack by Shapes coming up. Maybe some face-off, depending how the schedule and the fixtures go. And then we've got Money Box as written by Samster. All original games, all original formats, created and implemented by yours truly. So if you've enjoyed what you've seen this evening, please do consider giving us a follow and coming back and joining us for some more trivia in the coming days. Thank you very much, everybody, from both the Game Night community and the HUD 601 community. It's been an absolute pleasure having you all here. Thank you so much for joining us and helping us on this drive for HUDs to raise money for Bristol Pride. I do hope that you'll stick with us as we go over to HUDs' channel for some racing action, this classic Sonic 3 trilogy. Only connecting the pipelines coming up on Tuesday, Shapes. Classic Sonic 3 trilogy. HUDs is going to smash on Sonic 3 and Knuckles. 1 and 2, the jury is still out, but I do hope you'll join us for that. We're going to raid over with the message... hashtag Sonic, I think. Gotta be, really. Hashtag Sonic. No, hashtag Pride. There we go. Hashtag Pride. Hashtag Pride is going to be our raid message over to HUDs, who's hopefully going live as we speak. Not quite there yet. I imagine he will be going live very shortly. Do come over, come and cheer one or both of us on. HUDs has got all the setup. It's all looking very, very flash and very exciting. Give us about 5-10 minutes just to make sure everything is set up and for me to close down at my stream then, because I need to go into speedrunning mode and open up my emulators and stuff. So do stand by. But thank you all so much for joining us. Again, thank you to our question writers. It's been a really great evening. HUDs is live. Who knew? We should go and raid him, shouldn't we? Can we raid HUD 601 with the raid message? Hashtag Pride. Is he live? He is. Fantastic. We're going to roll some credits and I will see you over there. Thank you very much for playing, and I'll see you for some racing very shortly.